design a graphic or illustrated poster depicting how our different cultural, ethnic, or religious groups contribute to building a stronger Jamaica. Great prizes to be won. Visit jis.gov.jm for more information. Competition closes on October 31. Enter today.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
4 minutes after 9.
You're inside the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Good morning to you. It is Monday. TGIM, thank God it's Monday. We are alive and well this Monday morning, and we give God thanks for that. It's Monday, September 30. It's the final day of the best month of the year, the month of September. It was a good run. All my September peeps, it was a good run, and tomorrow we step into a brand new month. Good morning to you if you're listening on the 90 FM band, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9. Thank you so much for joining us on your radio. We appreciate your company there. If you're listening and watching on YouTube, good morning to you. The channel is Nationwide 90 FM Live. Nationwide 90 FM Live is the channel. You can join us over there on YouTube. Click the subscribe button when you found the channel, and also click the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we go live and whenever we post a video. And we go live for most of our shows, so you can see the action live in studio. So good morning to all those over there on YouTube. I'm seeing Juliet Sanchez. Good morning to ya. I'm seeing Katie Buello. Good morning. David Nebar. Morning. Errol Townsend. Big up Errol every time. Ines Campbell, good morning to you. Shin's Law Boss, good morning. Lornette Powell, morning to you. Jennifer Phillips, good morning. Donna Johnson, Proset. Let me see who else is over there. MS, Prince Charles, Rich Richards, Monica Stone, and all the others over there on YouTube. Good morning to you. If you're listening on the mobile app, which is available for free on the Google Play and the Apple App Store, good morning to you, and those on our website. The Listen Now option there, good morning to you. And of course, I'm live on TikTok. It's Nora GB, NORAGEEBEE over there on TikTok. Big up everybody on TikTok. Big up Pauline, who just followed me. Big up yourself, Pauline. Javon, good morning to you. Matthew Peter, good morning to you. Loading, morning to you, morning to all the others over there on YouTube. Big up, not YouTube, TikTok, sorry. Big up on yourself. Edward Brown, big up yourself. All right, so it's Monday morning, which means it is Immigration Mondays. All right. And before I jump into Immigration Mondays, you know me, I have to big up Hermin. Hermin, it's a routine now for Hermin. Hermin, come over TikTok. She sent out one rose. She said good morning, and then she over there. She over there for the rest of the life. Good morning to you, Hermin. I've also seen Hermin over there on YouTube. So Hermin is everywhere. Big up Hermin. All right. Okay, so this morning, it's Immigration Mondays, and if you're new to the program, it's where we tackle immigration-related matters for the United States and for Canada only. I've been seeing some persons asking about the UK and asking if we could get a representative who could speak to matters in the UK. Maybe that's something we can explore. But for now, it's the United States and Canada. And to help us with that, we have U.S. immigration attorney Opal Lee and Canadian immigration consultant Nadine Mahabir. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning, Miss Nora. Good morning, Miss Lee, and good morning to our very wonderful and dedicated loyal listeners and viewers.
Good morning. Opal, is she there? Is she muted?
Good morning.
Oh.
Good morning, Nora. Good morning, Nadine. Good morning to our wonderful and loyal listeners and viewers. Happy Monday.
All right. Good morning to you, ladies. And Katie Buello, it's just that at the time when I was giving the good mornings, you weren't in the chat just yet. But good morning to you, Katie Buello. Don't feel like I'm leaving you out. All right. So we're going to go to the updates at the beginning of the program. We usually get an update from both ladies on immigration-related matters, updates or things to note for persons who may need additional information. I'm going to start with you, Nadine, and then Opal.
Thanks, Nora. So, Nora, today is actually a holiday in Canada. Today we honor the survivors as well as those who passed away during the residential school system in Canada. The holiday is actually called National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. And Nora, what happened is back in, I'm going to say from probably about the 1890s to the 1990s, these are native Indians. The children were sent to schools. They were taken from their families and they created these schools for the native Indian children to, unfortunately, pretty much try to strip away their traditions, their cultural practices, and their language. You may remember, I don't know if you've heard it on the news, where they found all of these children, the graves for these children. So over the last few years, the Canadian government has been trying to make sure that these atrocities don't happen again. So today we honor the children of the Indian residential school system.
That's why you're in your orange today.
Yes, so today we wear orange to
yes,
remember
yes,
that.
Yes. Indeed. Quite an important time to note and to remember and not forget those families who maybe, well, not maybe, to this day would be affected in some way, maybe not as much as they were before, but still remember how their families were affected, families and the communities were affected by this moment in history. Thank you for that, Nadine, and I pray that it's remembered well now and in times to come in Canada. All right. Opal, over to you.
Right. So just a gentle reminder, because people have been asking about the parole in place. Yes, you can still submit those applications. You can go right ahead. The filing fee is $580. However, USCIS is still not approving any of those. That's the one if you are married to a United States citizen and have been here for over 10 years and entered unlawfully, then, you could, the Biden administration had started that program, but the court had challenged same. And or I should say it's being challenged right now in court. But yes, you can still submit the application, just can't be approved. But what I think it's very important that we need to remind people of, Nora, we've spoken about it before, is for asylum cases, people who are making their way to the border and getting out and to enter the United States. Please, guys, really think long and hard before doing so. Make sure you do have a viable claim for persecution, to show that you have been persecuted in your country of origin, because the Biden administration is actually tightening up. I know they've been getting a lot of hit with this, and so they have been making it very clear that they're tightening up their stance on the border. So what that means for you is that if you enter with the border, and if you enter through the border and you're not paroled, or you're in removal proceedings, or you're left in custody, they are making it so that you have to stay there during your proceedings. The immigration judge can't even give you, if you're an arriving alien, the immigration judge doesn't even have the authority to bond you or to issue you a bond. So what that means is that your case is going to go super fast, because while you're detained, you're going to have to make that asylum application or submit it.
Mm-hmm.
And many people, like we have spoken about this before, like 90% of asylum claims, they eventually fail, Nora, because people, they're fleeing their country because of, economic reasons. That is not a viable reason or a very good reason for asylum. And so if you're thinking about leaving Jamaica, Bahamas, Haiti, wherever you're from, make sure you have your evidence intact to show you've been hurt, you've been threatened, you've been persecuted. Have those police records, have those medical records, have those affidavits from friends, family members to support your claim. Because if your case is going to go very quickly before the immigration judge, you don't want to be sent back to your country when that case, if it fails. So please make sure. Because a lot of people, Nora, I remember people called in before and said, well, at least they could get released and get a work permit after
exactly. I was just about to say that.
Months. But it doesn't go for everybody. Because they're now
we're losing you, Opal.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're leaving you in custody while you present your case to the judge.
I see.
A lot of people don't like that.
I see. Yes, because I was going to say that a lot of people go and depend on that wait time to, get a work permit or do something in the meantime. But you're saying the cases are going quickly and you're remaining in custody while you're asylum.
Case.
Yeah,
Correct.
while you present your case. So for those of you thinking about it, I'll encourage you to think about another way, maybe a legal way to get, because most of the people who leave Jamaica, they do not have an asylum claim. They do not. That's just the truth. They do not. And so some of them get sent back. Some of them, it works for them. And so that's what the others see and say, well, me can try my luck too, but please take note of what Opal just said. All right, we're up on a break, so we're going to take the break. And when we come back, we open the phone lines for you. We take your call. If you have any calls, if you have any immigration-related questions, you can give us a call or leave your questions in the YouTube chat.
Decorate and redecorate your space with water-resistant, colorful, and fast-drying paints from Edgechem Paints. The time by Edgechem Paints, changing lives 1 gallon at a time, is
9:16. The Coconut Industry Board is encouraging all registered farmers to make contact with their advisory officers and complete the Farmers Damage Assessment Form. Forms should be submitted to the advisory officers before the 31st of October 2024. While the industry was not severely affected by Hurricane Beryl, significant tree and knot loss was reduced. The CIB will provide additional replacement seedlings and fertilizer based on the calculated damage assessment triggers.
We a big deal when we touch ground. Yeah, I can see when we're pulling up. Anything for the taste what we love. Barbecue, spicy and original, flavorful, crispy, irresistible. 3 piece with the fries and a Pepsi. Go get your one big deal, stop stress me. All when we dip on the toilet, no left foot. It's a big deal. Anything for the taste of a juicy, crunchy, irresistible KFC, big deal. 3 pieces of delicious chicken, fries and Pepsi. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. It's Immigration Mondays. So if you are new to this program, on Immigration Mondays, we have U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir. And we are at the point in the program where we take your calls. If you have any questions for Nadine or Opal, you can give us a call. And let me give you those numbers. The numbers to call, 876-630-9494. 630-9371, and that goes up to 4. So 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and we have a Digicel line 618-8255. If you're unable to call, however, you can leave your questions in the YouTube chat. We also take questions from the chat as well. All right. So here's a question coming in from YouTube. All right. So this one is for you, Nadine. And it says, can someone who sought asylum send an invitation? And she had Canada after that.
That's a good question, Nora. I guess I've never been asked that question before, so I'm a little bit stumped, but I'm assuming that you should be able to send someone an invitation letter. You need to show your status in Canada. So I'm assuming that you're now a permanent resident or a citizen, that you are employed, and that, yes, you're willing to provide your address on your invitation letter, because normally those are some of the things you would state. Your contact information, as well as the contact information for the person that you're inviting.
All right. So I guess the answer is yes. If Nadine sees anything else that may be contrary to that, I'm sure she'll give us that information. But as it is now, then yes, you should be able to. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to. There is a question here for you, Opal, asking how long will it take for a daughter who is filing for her mom, and the daughter is a U.S. citizen?
All right. So it depends if that mother is in the United States or outside the United States. So if the person is outside the United States, it might take about 2 years. If the person is inside the United States, it might take about a year. The I-130 itself takes about 12 months or so before it is adjudicated. The I-130 is the immigrant petition that the child would file on behalf of the mother. However, if the person is outside the United States after the I-130 is filed, then it then has to do consular processing. And that's where a lot of time gets added on before they eventually get that interview at the U.S. Embassy. That's why it takes maybe about 2 years if the person is outside the United States.
Okay, so it's about 2 years because the person did follow up to say it's outside. So
Okay.
2 years, about 2 years. That's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. I guess as they usually say it's based on like priority and your proximity to the relative. So
Right. They consider that an
yeah.
immediate relative.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to wait for a priority date to become current.
Here's another question, and asylum seems to be the topic of the day. Monica Stone is asking both of you if someone who sought asylum and was successful, if they can go back to their home country for any reason.
That's a very good question. I would say for the United States, you don't want to go back too soon because remember, you're just fleeing persecution. And so I've had clients who, they have returned. However, they show that they did put like safety measures in place to make it a very short trip. To show that, or maybe conditions have changed. Maybe the person got asylum and then eventually became a United States citizen, and then the country conditions change later on. Then they'll be fine as well. But it's normally not recommended when you just get asylum or shortly thereafter to be going back to the same country that you claim that you're going to be persecuted from.
Yeah.
Nadine?
Thanks, Opal. Well, I concur with everything that Opal just said, Nora, because I mean, a refugee claimant is someone who is saying, I'm fearful of going back to my home country because I might get killed.
Yes.
Right? I am going to lose my life if I go back. So now you've gone back to your home country. When you return going back to the home country is not the issue. It is coming back into Canada that is the issue, because in CBS, your immigration officer is going to be asking you, well, how is it you said you were fearful of going to your home country? You just went. Why should I allow you back into Canada? Did you really have a genuine refugee claim? So Nora, for my Jamaican clients, if you don't need to do a refugee claim, I am not going to recommend that you do that. There are other alternatives, and persons need to ensure that they're educated on the topic. As Opal said earlier, if you don't get through with your refugee claim, you're going to be sent back to your home country. And it is going to make it that much more challenging for you to, if you tried for the US, you didn't get through, and now you're going to try to come to Canada, it is going to make it that much more challenging for you. So, yes, to answer your question, you can go back home, but you can have challenges when you try to re-enter the country.
Okay. All right. We have a caller on the line. Jasper, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'd like to ask the immigration officer. I've been going to the States for some time now. I think 18 times. I have a B1, B2 visa. Are you there?
Yes. Go ahead with your
Right.
question.
So I'm interested. I'm educated up to the master's level. I don't have a teacher certificate over those. I understand the several categories. What's the prospects of adjusting your status if you go over there?
All right. Good morning, caller. So you were a little bit I couldn't hear it very well, but I'm guessing that you have a visiting visa and you want to know how to adjust your status in the United States?
Yeah.
All right. So, and I think you're talking about you having a bachelor degree. So I'm guessing that if you don't have a qualified family member, such as a spouse or a child or a sister or a brother or mother or father, because those are options for you to be able to adjust your status from a visiting visa visitor to an immigrant.
I have a brother my mother died recently. She was a citizen, and my brother is a citizen as well.
Okay. But, all right. Sorry to hear about your mother's death, but your brother can file for you. However, it takes about 16 years for siblings to file for siblings. About 16 or so years.
You're talking about leaving the state and applying when you go back to your home country. I'm saying if I go over there, what's the prospect to adjust the status?
Are you saying if you go there as a visitor?
Right.
That's what we're talking about. Adjusting your status, sir, means to get a green card. You're adjusting from a visitor and you're adjusting to a green card holder, meaning you're no longer a visitor. You're now living in the United States. So I think maybe you're confused about the terminology. Is that what you're trying to say? Living in the United States?
Right. That's
exactly. So if your brother should file for you, it takes about 16 years or so before you're able to live in the United States. And in the meanwhile, you can't just go there on a visiting visa and stay there. You'd have to keep going back and forth on your tourist visa, your visiting visa.
I wouldn't be adjusted by status then. I'd have to leave and fly.
Correct. So if you're married to a United States citizen, then you can adjust.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking about the prospects for adjusting the status, being there and adjust your status to permanent residency from being there. That's what I'm saying.
And I just told you the two main ways for you to do so is if you have a child who is a United States citizen who is at least 21 years old, you may be able to do so. Or if you have a spouse who is a United States citizen, then yes, you'll be able to adjust your status there. If you don't have either of these two, another option is if you have an employer who is willing to sponsor you. But then that's a whole different conversation. You need to do a consultation with that, but you can't do that. You'd have to have an employer who thinks that because of your degree and your work experience, they need your services here in the United States, and they're not able to find qualified United States citizens and permanent residents to do that job. Hence the reason why they have to do a perm on your behalf.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
You're very welcome.
All right, Jasper. All right, we have some more questions coming in on YouTube. Nicole is asking, it says, my son is 18 years old. Can I take him to the embassy as a student? I'm assuming Nicole's son has a visa application and he wants to know if he can take him as his parent, because he's still a student.
They should have done it before. For the US, they should have done it before that child turned 18. Because remember now that child is no longer,
a child.
It's now an adult. I know it sounds weird, right? No, the child is no longer a child. That doesn't sound right. But you know what I mean. That child is now, that person is now an adult.
So he would have to go on his own.
Correct.
Okay.
And so it depends on what his qualifications are. Is he going to university? Does he have a job? It's going to be based on him.
I see Lisa asking Opal if the COVID-19 backlog at the embassy will ever end. Lisa, Opal is also asking the same question. So I don't think Opal will have an answer for you on that one because she's also seeking an answer.
But I say they're getting a little bit better, especially for the spousal ones. Like if you're filing for a minor child, Nora, you have to filing for a minor child, or a spouse filing for a spouse. They're getting a little bit better with that, I must say.
Okay, good. So here's the final one before we go to the break. It says, my daughter should travel for sports purposes, but she's on filing. Do you think they would turn her down based on the fact that she's on filing? So it seems as if she should be going to get a visa with her sports team soon, but her daughter is on filing, so she wants to know if the filing will affect.
I don't think so. I don't think that will affect it because this is a sports, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we need them there. I think she has a very good, or the person has a very good case to show that they're going to, even though, despite the fact that they're on filing for immigrants, they are going for that stated purpose, and they're going to return and do it the proper way to continue their immigrant filing.
Right.
So I think they should still go ahead with it.
Okay. So we're going to take a break. We're up on the break. We take a break and come back with more Immigration Mondays.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers provides quality insurance coverage and risk management services. The time by Spectrum Insurance Brokers Limited, setting the industry standards, is
9:30. The Coconut Industry Board is encouraging all registered farmers to make contact with their advisory officers and complete the Farmers Damage Assessment Form. Forms should be submitted to the advisory officers before the 31st of October 2024. While the industry was not severely affected by Hurricane Beryl, significant tree and knot loss was reduced. The CIB will provide additional replacement seedlings and fertilizer based on the calculated damage assessment triggers.
You can have it all. Company events, birthday parties, or the wedding of your dreams. It's all possible at Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts. We have magnificent event rooms and a dedicated team that will make your event the best experience that only Grand Palladium Hotels and Resorts can offer. Contact us at 876-619-0000 or call your favorite travel agency and ask about our promotion designed especially for you.
The Coconut Industry Board is encouraging all registered farmers to make contact with their advisory officers and complete the Farmers Damage Assessment Form. Forms should be submitted to the advisory officers before the 31st of October 2024. While the industry was not severely affected by Hurricane Beryl, significant tree and knot loss was reduced. The CIB will provide additional replacement seedlings and fertilizer based on the calculated damage assessment triggers. Good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Nora Gay Banton. It's Immigration Mondays, and we're joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahabir, and we are taking your calls. The numbers to call 876-630-9371, and that goes up to 4 or 618-8255. And just before we go to the phone lines, I'm going to allow you ladies to give your contact information because there's some persons who are listening who may just want to book a consultation to get their issues sorted. So you can go ahead, Opal, and then Nadine.
Thank you so much, Nora. So Opal Lee, phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That is 876-854-3599. In the United States, it is 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Or you may go to our website, www.flowgemlegal.com. Over to you, Nadine.
Thanks, Opal. For Nadine Mahabir, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1416-249-5885. That's 1416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Thanks, Nora.
All right. So we're going to jump over to the phone lines now. Dion, good morning.
Hi, President. Good morning. How are you all doing?
Good.
Good
Okay,
morning.
so this
Good morning.
this question is for the U.S. immigration lawyer. I'd like to know which category exactly it is I would fall in. It's a U.S. citizen parent filing for an unmarried child with 2 children.
All right, so you're in what's called the F1 category. And right now, do you want to know how long it's going to take?
You can go ahead.
Right now, they're at October 2015, so it would take about 9 years.
Okay, well, I'm November 2016.
Oh, so you're very close.
Yeah, that's my
It's about a year. But even though it looks like
everything.
it's about a year apart, just be warned that it might take a little bit longer. So it might take, just say, about 1 to 2 years. But right now they're at October 2015. So keep listening to Nationwide every Monday, and then, or you can go to our website, or I should say our Facebook account, because I'm going to be posting like the updates as well to see how far they're moving along.
What
the
I've
NVC.
realized as well is that during particular months, it's frozen from about August to December. Nothing happens during those
That's
periods.
exactly. So now you see why I told you that even though it seems like it's 1 year apart, it could actually be a year and a half to 2 years, because some months it doesn't even move.
Okay. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks for calling.
But in the
Dion.
meanwhile, don't get married, okay? Do not get married.
All
You
right.
get married, you're putting another 5 years or so on that will be added.
All right. Thank you.
All
Sorry
right,
about
Dion. Thank you so much for calling. Here's one from YouTube. It says, 10 years green card holder wants to file for 3 adult children, 23, 24, and 26. How long will it take, and what are the fees?
All right. So for right now, the filing, they're at May 2016. So it will take about 8.5 years or so. And not the same thing goes for that other caller, because green card holders cannot file for any married children. So if any of these children should get married within the time before that person becomes a United States citizen, that application is now void. But it takes about 8.5 years, about 8 to 9 years currently.
All right. Here's Baby Toy with a question for both of you. The first one is for Nadine. No, the first one is for Opal and then Nadine. It says, Opal, how long must one stay on a visitor's visa? And Nadine, can a person on a visiting visa in the US visit Canada using the border?
All right. So that question, how long must the person stay? They must stay how long it is that for the intended purpose. So if they're telling Customs and Border Patrol or the U.S. Embassy that, listen, I'm just going to go up for, enter the United States for a graduation, for example, or a birthday celebration, or for vacation, then you're supposed to be going for that intended purpose, right? So 2-3 weeks or so. As I've often stated in this program, you do not want to enter the United States and spend 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Because what exactly are you doing in the United States for so long? How are you maintaining your job and your ties back in your home country? These are all questions that Customs and Border Patrol is going to find suspicious or are going to want to ask you. And then if you don't have an answer that they believe is justified, they're going to cancel your visa. Or better yet, when it comes time for you to renew your visa, that application might be denied.
All right. And Nadine, the person was also asking if you're on a visiting visa in the US, if you can visit Canada using the border.
Hi, good morning. You can, but if you don't have a visitor's visa, then it's going to be up to the immigration officer to decide whether or not they're going to be letting you in, or CBSA. So, that's a chance you would be taking if you do not have a visitor's visa and you're coming in from the US. I would probably recommend to make sure that you walk with your job letters, bank statement, property documents, and so on to show your ties to your home country.
All right. Here's another one on YouTube. It says a person hasn't used their U.S. visa in about 5 years because they're living in another foreign country. To about 2 years left on it. Will that be a problem when it comes to renewing?
Right. This is a popular question. Or I should say, we have gotten this question before. Some people are of the view that, if you don't use it, you lose it. But if that person is really in a foreign country and they just don't have any desire at all to travel to the United States, they should just, be able to present that to the U.S. Embassy and say, look, when they're applying for their visa, see, I had no interest in residing in the United States. I'm not a flight risk. You can trust me. Give me back a visa. I don't think, Nora, the U.S. Embassy should use the fact that you have not used a visa or in a long time have not used a visa.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they should use that to justify not giving you a visa in the future. I mean, but remember, whenever you apply for a visa, it's going to be at that point in time where the U.S. consulate is going to look at your situation at that given time to see what is the reason that you're applying for that visa and whether or not you have strong ties to your country of origin at that time. So I would say, they still have 2 years left on it. If they can take a quick trip, that would be my advice to them, to take a quick trip, for a week or so. Still have 2 years left on it.
Yeah. Okay. And here is one for, both of you. It says US or Canada. It says, in the instance where a person enters the US or Canada and they overstay their visa, I guess the person went with their child, because it says, can the child enroll in school, seeing that they would have been in the country illegally as well?
Okay, so yes, you're not supposed to be entering the country unlawfully or overstaying your visa. However, with that being said, if you're in the United States and you have overstayed, the schools usually will still allow the child because, education, we still want that child to be educated. So they're not going to prevent the child from going to school.
Nadine?
Nora, I don't know the answer to this question for sure. I would say they would need to contact the school board to find out what is required. Maybe if they have a family member or friend who is a permanent resident or a citizen, and the parent is afraid to go to the school board, maybe they could have the family member or friend get that information for them.
Okay. And Baby Toy asking the same question, read the visitor's visa. How long can you stay in Canada on a visitor's visa?
Sorry, I am a little bit stumped there. How long can you stay?
Yeah.
That's going to be up to the immigration officer when you land in Canada. So if there's no stamp in your passport, it's implied that you have 6 months in the country. But again, what is your purpose for visiting? Are you coming as a tourist? Are you going to be staying with a family member who is ill? It really depends on your situation. If you're given 6 months, okay, Nora, let's say you have your mom in Canada. Your mom is not well and you need to stay with her. Okay. You come up, you're given your 6 months and you find, okay, you still need to extend your stay because your mother needs assistance. You can apply for an extension of your stay from inside of Canada. However, when you're applying for your extension, you do need to have valid reasons as to why you're asking Immigration Canada to extend your stay. So there are circumstances where, yes, you can stay longer, but you want to make sure that you apply for your extension before your time is up. I hope that answers the person's question.
Right. I think it should. And while we're with you, Nadine, ISO Mario is asking someone who got their U.S. visa recently, should they update an already submitted Canadian visa application to reflect that the application was submitted in April, still waiting on a response?
Okay, so they applied for a Canadian visa. They're still waiting on a response, and they now have a U.S. visa.
Yes.
It doesn't hurt to submit the additional information. Again, Isa Mario, he's a regular listener and viewer. You can submit it via the IRCC web form.
Okay, and let me allow you ladies to give your contact information before we go to the break, because we're close, starting with you, Nadine, and then Opal.
Thanks, Nora. For Nadine Mehabir, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. That's 1-416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Thanks, Nora, and over to you, Miss Opal.
Thank you. For Opal Lee, our phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That is 876-854-3599. In the United States, it is 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Or you may visit our website for valuable information at www.flowjamlegal.com. Over to you, Nora.
All right, we're up on the break. We take a break and when we come back, we have more Immigration Mondays.
Fill all your prescriptions, get cosmetics and other pharmaceutical items at Mannings Hill Pharmacy, located at 34A Mannings Hill Road, Kingston. Telephone 924-6280. At Mannings Hill Pharmacy, they stock all the hard-to-get medication. The time by Mannings Hill Pharmacy is
9:45. This is a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Ministry of Health and Wellness wishes to advise awardees of Dr. Barrington Waite Memorial Scholarship Program that the deadline to complete their bonding agreement has been extended to Friday, October 18, 2024. Awardees who face challenges with meeting the requirements of their bonding agreement are encouraged to call the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service at 876-922-8600 or visit the office at 30 National Hero Circle, Kingston 4. They can also send an email to collet.mccausland@mof.gov.jm. That was a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Coconut Industry Board is encouraging all registered farmers to make contact with their advisory officers and complete the Farmers Damage Assessment Form. Forms should be submitted to the advisory officers before the 31st of October 2024. While the industry was not severely affected by Hurricane Beryl, significant tree and knot loss was reduced. The CIB will provide additional replacement seedlings and fertilizer based on the calculated damage assessment triggers.
Recycling Partners of Jamaica. Yeah, we got to make a change, and we have to do it now, can't wait for later. We put plastic in its place, and we all can agree that will be safer than in the gullies and in the drains. Recycling Partners of Jamaica. We put plastic in its place. Well, I said no matter about your class or status or title, got to be responsible and recycle. Yes, we are talk about plastic buckle boat. You have to make sure say you're the right type to. So look for the triangle with the one or two. But that don't matter could a yellow or blue. You have to just make sure them empty, collect them plenty, recycling revenue. So listen up Jamaica, I'm saying it's time to make a change. Recycling Partners of Jamaica. We put plastic in its place, and we all can agree that will be safer than in the gullies in the every rains. Recycling Partners of Jamaica. We put plastic in its place.
Who's gonna win? Punching a little fella. Tasty beat, summer promotion there. Who's gonna win this $1 million? You have a chance to win, my you just follow.
Win $1 million in the Tasty Beat summer promotion. Purchase any Tasty Cheese product for a chance to enter. Find our Tasty Beat flyer, scan the QR code, upload your receipt with your Tasty Cheese, fill in the other details, and that's it. Plus each week, win $60,000 and other small prizes from Tasty Cheese. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Good morning, good morning. You're back here inside the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM. I am Nora Gay Banton. It's Immigration Mondays, and we're on the final leg of the show this morning. We're joined by U.S. Immigration Attorney Opal Lee and Canadian Immigration Consultant Nadine Mahber. And we have a caller on the line, Philip. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, attorney. I have a U.S. problem.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Philip. Ask
yes.
your
Put on your seatbelt because you probably never heard of this before. This kind of case. You know, it's some wrongdoing on U.S. immigration part. I am going through asylum. 19 years I'm going through asylum, and I'm deported out of the country. They deported me in 2005, September 23. And I was in Atlanta field office, and they brought me into this room, and attorney was there, asylum officer was there. I never requested an asylum. I never knew what that was about. And they brought me into a room, and I met asylum officer. Can I mention names or not?
Please don't. Please do not mention any names. So
Okay,
you're in
all
Jamaica right now, correct?
I'm not going to mention any names.
Right, but are you in Jamaica? So you're in Jamaica now. You're outside the United States, correct?
I'm outside the United States, but I'm going to asylum in Jamaica because they deported me legally out of the country.
You've been in Jamaica now since 2005, sir?
From 2005, I'm going through asylum in the United States.
You have a case currently pending in the United States?
Yes, it's right. I have a letter looking at it right now stating my regard.
It sounds to me, Nora, this sounds to me that this person has a specific question, and it's best to do a consultation because we won't be able to assist him on the radio like this.
I was just thinking that. So, Philip, it's best if you don't have Opal's contact information yet, you can continue listening to the program because it sounds as if you may need to go into some specifics that it may not be best for you to go through on air. So it's best if you book a consultation with Opal and go through your case. So you can just continue listening and you'll hear her contact information. You can give her a call and book your consultation, okay?
But can I ask her one question before I leave?
Go ahead.
Is it possible that somebody could be going through asylum and get deported without seeing a judge, without going in front of a judge?
It's possible, but you just said that there were attorneys there. But if you're in immigration proceedings, that means you're going before a judge.
Yes, the attorney abandoned me. They let me
that's what I'm
drive.
saying, and that's what Nora was saying for specifics. It's really and truly best that you do a consultation so we could take a look at your case and I could advise you much better.
Okay.
All
okay,
right.
Thanks very much.
All right.
You're very
Okay,
welcome.
Philip.
Thanks.
Keep listening for the contact information. All right. Here's one from YouTube. It says, "Good morning. This is for Opal. Can a mother who is retired file for her son who was deported from the U.S. 11 years ago for marijuana? It was arrest without." I'm not seeing what that word is. Something looks to be mixed up there. And the person is in Jamaica right now.
All right. So a mother, of course, can file for her child who is in Jamaica, even if the child has been deported. But what is concerning is the marijuana. It didn't state the quantity. If it's for under 30 grams of marijuana, yes, he might be able to come back in with a waiver, an I-601 waiver. However, if it's for over that, there's no waiver available for an immigrant visa for over 30 grams of marijuana. And it also depends on, was this marijuana being used for personal use? Was it for sale? Is there a little bit more to this? Is it like a conspiracy for sale and distribution? We need a little bit more on that one.
Okay. All right. So if you want to book a consultation for that one, you can go ahead. You will hear the numbers shortly. Here's one for you, Nadine. Someone is saying, I'm retired. If I want to move to Canada, what kind of visa would I apply for as a retiree? My monthly income is 6,000 US dollars.
Nora, we would have to see under what category would they qualify as a permanent resident. If the person is retired, off the top of my head, I'm going to say they probably wouldn't qualify under express entry right now unless maybe they have an occupation that's in demand or something like that. We would have to do a consultation to figure out what their best option would be.
Okay. All right. And here's another one for you. Well, this one is for you, Opal. It says, how long does it take a green card holder to file for unmarried children over 21?
All right. So for unmarried children over 21, right now they're at May 2016. So between 8 and 9 years. And it's the same thing like before. That unmarried child has to stay unmarried while the parent is a green card holder. Do not put a ring on it. Do not get married. Unless if you want to migrate, I should say.
Okay. And I'm going to ask both of you this one. How long after being denied a visa can you reapply?
For the United States, it's best that you wait at least 6 months unless you can show that your circumstances since the last application has changed. Of course, you can apply in the next day or the next 2 days or next week, but it's going to be a waste. In my opinion, it's going to be a waste of money if your circumstances has not changed. So I normally recommend waiting at least 6 months. Nadine?
Thanks, Opal. Well, Nora, it depends on the reason for your refusal. Is it a case that maybe your application wasn't done properly? Did you complete your application form properly? Did you submit all of your supporting documents? So I would have to take a look at that client's information and then say, okay, you can to answer the question, you can resubmit the next day, but it depends on the reasons for the refusal, right? If your application was done properly, you submitted everything, then yes, you would need to wait until your circumstances change. But if it's a case that, maybe you didn't submit everything with it, then yes, you can submit the next day or a few days after.
Okay. And this one I'm going to close out with. Isa Maria is asking, why are the mics in the embassy so loud?
I think this is one for when we have the consular officers on because I've gotten that complaint a lot though, and sometimes I'm wondering if it's in the microphone or if just a person's voice is so loud and everybody in the waiting area can hear your business. They will know if you had a criminal record. They will know if you went up and you worked unlawfully before. But yes, everybody's knowing your business.
Yeah. I don't know the reason. I think maybe because there's so many windows. And they want to ensure that you are hearing because everybody would be talking at the same time. So maybe they just want to ensure that you're hearing correctly so that if you're asked a question, then you can answer correctly. So maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But
I do wish there was more privacy though, Nora. I
honestly think it could be a bit more private. But it's just the way it is. And whatever the way is, I'm sure Jamaicans will still be lining up at the embassy to get their visas. So it's unfortunate that it's loud, but that's what it is right now. Well, we are out of time, so I'm going to allow you ladies to give your contact information once more, starting with you, Opal, and then Nadine.
Thank you as always, Nora. So Opal Lee, phone number in Jamaica is 876-854-3599. That's 876-854-3599. In the United States, it is 954-358-2020. That's 954-358-2020. Or you may visit our website if you wish to make an appointment. That's www.flowjamlegal.com. Thanks. Over to you, Nadine.
Thanks, Opal. For Nadine Mahabir, our contact number in Jamaica, it is 876-754-4391. That's 876-754-4391. In Canada, it is 1-416-249-5885. That's 1-416-249-5885. Our email address is info@cdnintl.com. Thanks, Miss Nora, and have a great week, everyone.
All right. Thank you, ladies, as usual, for joining us each and every Monday. Do enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. That's where we're going to leave it for the Consumer Hour and Immigration Mondays this morning, making way now for Cliff Hughes Online.
That was the Consumer Hour with Nora Gay Banton.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We're having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM. Is that really Cliff Hughes talking? Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also tune in to the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Beanie Man. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Was Cliff Hughes really talking like that? Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
Teeth Ethics Jamaica, where your smile is our priority. Call us today to book an appointment at 876-946-0486-7 or visit us at Suite 6, the Village Plaza in Kingston, or Suite 4B, Rum Store Plaza in Morant Bay. The time by Teeth Ethics is
10 o'clock.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255. Or find us on Facebook at Nationwide News Network and follow us on Twitter at Cliff Nationwide. You can also listen to Cliff Hughes Online live on the World Wide Web at nationwideradiojm.com or via the Nationwide 90 FM app on your mobile phone. Now, here's your host, Cliff Hughes.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's get to work.
Cliff says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me like a rock. I was something to see like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Morning, morning, morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you are rejuvenated for the week ahead. It's a Monday morning. Yes, another week on the rock. It's the end of September. Yes, the end of September. Today is the 30th and last day of September. So we're now going into the last quarter of the calendar year. Come tomorrow, October 1. And it's been a challenging year so far. I wonder what is coming for the last quarter of the year. This morning and today, it's by-election day in the constituency of Northeast St. Anne. A by-election that is once again being held in Northeast St. Anne, a constituency that certainly over the last 20, 30 years has been quite instrumental in indicating and throwing up surprises, in indicating the political direction of the country. Yeah. It's also going to be another by-election which will continue to set in motion a number of things, political actors and developments, where the governing Jamaica Labour Party is concerned. It needs to get one of its young rising stars, Matthew Samoda, into the House of Representatives. And then thereafter, we expect a number of political developments to flow. I'm talking about the vacancy that is going to be created at the end of October with the departure of the Finance Minister, Dr. Nigel Clark, from the government, and the cabinet of Prime Minister Holness. And that's a big vacancy to fill. It's been, 4 or 5 weeks now? Four or 5 weeks now since we learnt of the planned departure of Dr. Clark. And we have not yet been told who will replace him. I suspect that after today, and when the Prime Minister returns from his official visit to India. By the way, have you heard, do you know that the Prime Minister is on an official visit to India? Yes. I just saw a post. If you can put this up for me, Nora. Just saw a post with the Prime Minister on his official visit to India, flanked by his Foreign Minister, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith. Yes? Can you post that for me? I just sent it to you, the photograph of the Prime Minister in India with his Foreign Minister, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, noted now retired West Indian cricketer Christopher Henry Gale, and his ambassador for investments, Dushyant Savadia, of the Amber Group. And you may wonder why Gale is in that photograph. Well, Gale is a cult-like hero in India. Yes, he's one of the most recognizable faces in India. And he's part of the Prime Minister's delegation in India, making use of his fame in India to the benefit of Jamaican diplomacy, and you see him there with the other members of the delegation, I don't know the name of the other gentleman in the photograph, but you can clearly see Chris Gale there to the left of the Prime Minister, and then the Foreign Minister, and then use that gentleman, I don't know who he is, and then Ambassador Dushyant Savadia in India, right? They're there to deepen ties between Jamaica and India, of course, and to explore investment opportunities. So I suspect when the Prime Minister comes back from India, and after the by-election today, the pace in terms of the outstanding political business will be stepped up. And the by-election today, of course, is not going to be as competitive as we would expect, because the main opposition, People's National Party, is boycotting the poll. They're not putting forward a candidate, although I hear some in the Matthew Samuda campaign suggesting that the PNP has put up a surrogate in the form of one of the independent candidates, or the independent candidate, Mr. David Fritz Anderson. I don't know how true that is, but that's what they're saying, that he's a surrogate of the PNP. Yes? But today, there are approximately just under 44,000 eligible voters in the by-election today in Northeast Santan. Just about 43,820 odd eligible voters. Now, by-elections and general elections don't attract high levels of participation again in Jamaican politics. And even in the days of higher level of participation, by-elections wouldn't normally attract no more than about, on average, 20 to 30% turnout. I suspect today is going to be no different. In fact, given the fact that the PNP is not contesting, I would imagine if we see a turnout of anything excess of 10 to 15% would be a bit of a surprise. I don't expect the turnout to be more than about 10-15%. Yes? And I saw our team posting interviews with a number of the residents of Northeast Santan. Yes? And they were essentially saying that, no, they don't have no time for that. They're going to their jobs, and even if they had time, they're not interested. The level of apathy is high, not surprising. Our Blue Dot polls last week found that 38% of the people they spoke with were not interested, in voting. 38%. And that figure is higher than when you look at those who say they would vote JLP, total about 31%. Those who said they would vote PNP, total 28%. So The undecideds are not interested, total 38%. That tells you a story that we have been talking about for a long time now. The political process is failing to inspire people to the levels that it was able to do up to about 1989, 1993. That's how many years ago? Nearly 30 years ago. Since then, we have seen a steady decline, in voter participation in elections in Jamaica. People feel that the political parties are not delivering for them. They're not seeing any reason for them to vote because voting for either of them makes no difference. And I suspect today will be a similar story when at about 7 o'clock this evening we will hear what was the turnout. I'm saying if you get a turnout in excess of 15% today, that will be quite a bit of a surprise. Yeah? The Jamaica Labour Party politically would like a strong turnout as a vote of confidence in their man, Matthew Samuda. But I rather doubt it. Yes? The Electoral Office of Jamaica says they are ready. They are ready. Director of Elections, Glasspool Brown. Yes? Glasspool Brown, the Director of Elections, told our newsroom that he is advising voters to walk with their ID cards as this will make the voting process more efficient.
Well, tomorrow is the by-election. We have the polling stations open at 7 and close at 5 p.m. We will start the voting process at that time. And we had to take a small, very smooth day. We just ask person again, just as a reminder, that electors walk with their ID card. It assists the process for it to flow more freely and ensure that they're able to do the process each elector as quick as possible.
That's Glasspool Brown, the Director of Elections. He also disclosed the number of voters on the election list.
On the voters list, there are 40,836 registered electors on the list for Northeast Central.
40,800. Yes? So there he is. Time for the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light.
The Time brought to you by the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. Fueling growth everywhere is
16 minutes after 10.
Get busy with a biz car, biz grow, biz boost. With a J&B Bank biz loan, you can't lose when you want to grow more on your business too.
J&B Bank Small Business Loans.
Have a loan for you.
Helping you succeed is our business. Tell us your business and let's help you start it, grow it, or boost it. Borrow as low as $10,000 and up to 100 million Jamaican dollars. Enjoy flexible payment terms and affordable rates. Apply now. WhatsApp 876-295-1298. J&B Bank. We'll help you find a way.
Motorists, as Minister of Justice, I appeal to you, obey the road code, pay your ticket on time, and only go to court if the ticket is being contested. Close to 80% of matters coming to the parish courts are for traffic breaches. Let's work together to make our roads safe and ease the burden on our courts.
Yes, Kemlani Mart is making deals.
Really? Deals like what?
On scratch, dented, new furniture and appliances.
Oh, that's great.
And that's not all. Kemlani Mart has tiles, toilets, doors at crazy low prices.
So I can make a deal on a sofa set?
Of course, and dining room sets, outdoor furniture, ACs and more. No reasonable offer will be refused.
Only at Kemlani Mart, Manor Center and 77 King Street.
I love this place, you see.
The Coconut Industry Board is encouraging all registered farmers to make contact with their advisory officers and complete the Farmers Damage Assessment Form. Forms should be submitted to the advisory officers before the 31st of October 2024. While the industry was not severely affected by Hurricane Beryl, significant tree and knot loss was reduced. The CIB will provide additional replacement seedlings and fertilizer based on the calculated damage assessment triggers. Discover the magic of the Mona Library during Library Open Week 2024. Help celebrate with faculty members and students during this signature event, Celebration of Books, which will showcase scholarships coming out of the Mona campus. Discover cutting-edge digital tools that will enhance your professional development skills through their e-resource fair. Come on out, connect, unlock new opportunities, and dive into the world of knowledge. Discover, learn, succeed. October 13 to 17, 2024 at the Mona Library.
Cliff says, what's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock.
19 minutes after 10 o'clock. You know, I have some very, very informed listeners, you know. So, a former member of the Foreign Service who is listening was able to tell me the gentleman in the photograph with the Prime Minister in India that I didn't know, he's Jamaica's High Commissioner to India, Jason Hall. Yes? The listener said to me, that's Jason Hall, Jamaica's High Commissioner to India. So there you have the full list. Yes, beginning with Dushyant Savadia, Jason Hall, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, the Prime Minister, and the Universe boss, Christopher Henry Gale, right? Former West Indies cricketer, who is in India, yes, as part of the Jamaican delegation on the Prime Minister's official visit, because he is a huge figure, yeah, in India. Yeah, Gale is like one of their own in India. They love him. Yeah, so he's now putting that to the diplomatic service of his country. Nice to see him playing that role. Yes, former Excelsior cricketer, West Indian, Jamaican, explosive opening batsman. Yeah. All right. The other thing I want to turn to this morning, keeping with the theme of elections, today is the final day for persons to be registered, to be on the voters list, if you want to be eligible to vote in the next elections. Today, if you haven't done so yet, today, September 30, is the final day for you to be registered on the list. Yes? This is the Director of Elections, Glasspool Brown.
Persons who want to be on the next updated list to be published at the end of November. Tomorrow, the last day, tomorrow being Monday, October 30th, the last day that they can seek to be registered for them to be on that list. I don't think there will be any extension. I think that's a timeline that has been set or given to us by the commissioners administratively. And as far as I'm aware, we will seek to maintain that timeline. So tomorrow, October 30th, is the final day for registration for the list to be published in November.
He said October, he meant September 30 today. September 30 is the final day for you to get onto the list. Yes? Call the Electoral Office of Jamaica, yes, and find out how you go about getting on to the list. Right? We should all be registered to vote. Just in case you change your mind and say, you know what, I want to vote. Yeah? that you will be able to do so. If your name not on the list, you can't vote. It's as simple as that. So give yourself the option. Yeah. All right. Now, the Blue Dot polls. We gave you the results last Friday of the party standings. And if you haven't heard, the Blue Dot pollsters went into the field between the 6th and the 19th, I think, of September. The poll had a margin of error of plus or minus 3%. And when they asked Jamaicans if a general elections were called today, at the time, which of the party's candidates would you vote for? Yes? 31% said they would vote for the JLP. 28% said they would vote for the PNP. That's a 3-point difference, which is smack in the middle of the margin of error. And according to the statisticians, that means they are in a dead heat. Because the concept of the margin of error means what is 31% could actually be plus 3, 34%. Or minus 3, which could be 28%. Similarly, what is 28% for the PNP now could actually be 31% on the upside, plus 3, or on the downside, minus 3, 25%. Therefore, the parties are in a dead heat. We like to use a horse racing term. Neck and neck. Everything to play for. It takes who has a better jockey now. Yes, you're within the last furlong, the final furlong. Who is going to nurse their horse to the finish line first? Yeah? Do you go for the whip or what? Yes? Ridership now. And the pollsters say the JLP lead is, quote, negligible. And if the poll findings were to hold on an election day, in all 63 seats we have in the country, the balance in the parliament would be 33 for the JLP, 30 for the PNP, if these numbers were to hold in an election, in an actual election. Now you see how close that is. So the JLP would be reduced from 49 to 33 seats. That's a loss of how many? 16. The PNP would move from 14 currently to 30. Which reminds us of 2007? When we came out at 32-31. You remember that? 32-31 it was? Yeah. Or it was, my head going now. Which year was it? 32-31. Yeah? So, the other takeaway from the polls, it's a trend. One poll is not a very good indicator because it depends on what is happening in the country. Yeah? At the time, may influence people's views. That is why the pollsters will tell you when there's a major incident or event happening, they don't like to go into the field at that time. The PNP has taken to go into the field at that time when the story is negative against the government because they know there'll be a little bump for them. Yes? But the pollsters, the statistician will tell you, don't go into the field when you have a major event, one way or the other, positive or negative, you don't do it. because you're not going to get an accurate feeling of public sentiments and mood. Yeah? So the trend is suggesting clearly that the opposition PNP is moving up. It has moved from 25% in September 2023 to 28% in September 2024. Yes, that's a movement of 3 percentage points. The JLP has not moved. The JLP has stalled, only moving 1 percentage point in that year, September 23 to September 24, moving from 30% last year to now 31% this year. And then the other big takeaway from the September Blue Dot polls, Mark Golding must be smiling. He is smiling because he has a lot to point to. There's been a 6 percentage point movement in those who now have a positive view of Golding since February 2024. That figure now stands at 30%, the highest it's been since we started polling and Golding becoming the leader of the PNP. Yeah? 23% now view him negatively. 46% still high, neutral. But for the first time since he was elected the PNP leader, Golding's net favorability rating is running ahead, of his party. His net favorability now stands at 7%. He's in positive territory. All of our previous polls had him drowning underwater, as we would say. He's now in net positive favorability territory. So previously, the PNP was carrying him. Now he is running ahead of the PNP. That must be music to his ears. For Wholeness, not all bad. Wholeness is showing signs of resilience, according to the poll findings. Those who view the Prime Minister positively stand at 39%. That's in September this month. That's compared to 28% who view him negatively. Yeah? So that's a net favorability, net of 11%. 33% are neutral on the question of Mr. Wholeness. Yes? So he has a net positive of 11%, up from 28%. Well, last year, he was viewed... No, let me get that right. Last year, those who viewed the Prime Minister positively was 28%. It's now at 39%. All right? On his job approval rating, 40% say the Prime Minister is doing a good job. 40% saying as Prime Minister after 8 years, he's doing a good job. 30%, 32% in fact, saying he's doing an average job. Neither good nor bad. Average. 28% saying he's doing a poor job. Therefore, again, he is in net positive territory. And what is also good for Wholeness, that job approval rating is up from a low of 32% last September to 40% this year. So last year only 32% rated his job performance as Prime Minister as good. It's now up to 40% this year. That's a significant increase. What is also a takeaway for the Labour Party and Wholeness? Women. Women are more supportive of Wholeness. They continue to break in favor of him, with 42% saying he's done a good job as Prime Minister, compared to 39% of men who say the same. So the women, they like Wholeness for whatever reason, but they do. And they tell me here, him just look good. Yes. 34% of women rated the Prime Minister's performance as average, and 30% of men said the same. So you see, women again ahead of the men in terms of their approval of the Prime Minister. Listen to this. 24% of women rated his performance. 24% of women rated his performance as poor. You know what was that figure for men? 31%. That's a 7-point difference. Yes. So women are clearly, is going for the Prime Minister. Now, when we ask the same job approval ratings of Golding, the gender balance is flipped. Men were more likely to rate Golding's performance positively. 33% of men say he's doing a good job, compared to only 24% of women. You hear that? 33% of men say Golding, the PNP leader, is doing a good job, compared to only 24% of women. 46% of women rated Golding's performance as average. Neither good nor bad. Average. 46%. But for men, that figure drops to 37%. 30%. Yeah? Now, when those who rated his performance as poor, it's a split. 30-30, men and women. Yeah? 30-30. Yeah. So those were the major findings from the nationwide Blue Dot polls. I'm sure the parties will study the results and map their strategies into the next crucial 12 months. All right? Time for the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick.
At the Ministry of Health and Wellness, we are committed to the values of care, compassion, excellence in service, integrity, teamwork, and innovation as we work to safeguard the health of our nation. The time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness is
25 minutes to 11.
Make lasting impressions. Register now for the Make Your Mark Business and Personal Etiquette Conference set for October 30 at the Jamaica Pegasus. Sponsored by Caledonia Outdoor Advertising, Monographic Printers, JPS, Nationwide News Network, Supply County, Jamaica Broilers Group, From Thought to Finish, Intelligent Multimedia Limited, Visual Tech Solutions, the Jamaica Observer, and Main Event Group. Come make your mark and attend the Business and Personal Etiquette Conference October 30. Call 876-978-6001 or visit www.makeyourmarkgroup.com now to register.
When I grow up, I'm going to be a famous gamer with viral videos all over the internet. I'm going to be rich. Good thing I'll already know how to take care of my money since Mommy got me this Sure Start account.
Open a CIBC Caribbean Sure Start account for your kids and give them a head start on financial smarts with a $1,200 sign-up bonus from us. We believe in their dreams as much as you do, so let's get them going together. Start young, start strong with Sure Start from CIBC.
Total Tools Rental and Electrical Supplies is Jamaica's one-stop shop for tools and equipment rental, sales, repair, service, transportation, and parts. They almost always have it. If they don't, they will source it. Check out their pickup and delivery service and their equipment with operator for hire service. Visit their Ocherius or Crossroads branch. Follow them on social media. Call or WhatsApp 876-834-5300.
Punching a little fella, tasty beats, I'm a promotion there. Who's gonna win this $1 million? You have a chance to win, my you just follow.
Win $1 million in the Tasty Beat Summer Promotion. Purchase any Tasty Cheese product for a chance to enter. Find our Tasty Beat flyer, scan the QR code, upload your receipt with your Tasty Cheese, fill in the other details, and that's it. Plus each week, win $60,000 and other small prizes from Tasty Cheese. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Cliff Says. What's on his mind? Unfiltered analysis and commentary.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
All right, 21 minutes going up to 11. At 11 o'clock, we're going to be joining Rodney Campbell on the ground in Northeast St. Anne to see what's happening with the by-election there. Oh, by the way, I noticed it's the lead story on the front page of the Observer this morning. But the paper of historic record in Jamaica forgot to mention that there's a parliamentary by-election happening in Jamaica today. The old lady of North Street simply forgot that there was a by-election on in Northeast St. Anne today, while the younger sibling across the road on Beechwood Avenue leads with it on its front page. Yeah. These things are important, you know. And they are matters of national record. A parliamentary by-election has to be noted and should be in the paper of record in Jamaica. Yeah, and it is not in the paper of record, the Gleaner this morning. Yeah, I've looked through it. Nothing online, nothing in the printed paper. Yeah, the Gleaner forgot that there was a by-election, or they're boycotting it. I wonder. Yeah. So that's at 11. Yes, this morning we'll get an update on what is happening in Northeast St. Anne. And in St. Anne, let me put it this way. Talk shows have come to know his voice. Yeah, we have come to know him as Jamintel for many, many, many years. Yes, Jamintel has been a voice, yeah, on various talk shows long before I started doing this. And he was known as a strong, committed proponent, supporter of the Jamaica Labour Party out of St. Anne. Yeah, and you would know where Jamintel is coming from. Yeah? I gather he's no longer with us. Yeah, he's no longer with us. I gather Jamintel has passed. Yeah? This is Jamintel. Yeah? This voice. Yeah? is no longer with us. 11. Leslie, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Hughes.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I heard you and Mr. Cleary yesterday. But I was rather surprised when I hear him say complacency cropping and the PNP was campaigning on general election issues and the GLP was campaigning on local government issues. If they were listening closely, they would hear Mr. Gold did say it's a referendum on the government.
Mm-hmm.
And when he made his pronouncement as to what was his aim, your response was that the man is either a brave man or a madman.
Mm-hmm.
But you see what happened out there? At least they will wake up and smell the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Because you underestimate the capability of your opponent to your own peril if you don't listen and understand the modus operandi of your opponents in order to counteract them.
That was Jamintel, yes, speaking with us some time ago. And he had been a regular caller to our program. And his name was Leslie McLean, a.k.a. Jamintel, he was called. Yeah? And he passed, I gather, at the St. Anne's Bay Hospital recently. And I want to pause, yeah, to recognize him, yeah, and to say to his family, yes, he was one of those ordinary Jamaicans who became quite extraordinary in terms of his contribution to national discourse. Yes? What good, Jamintel?
If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, if you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you want to see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place for people like you. My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be.
Resolve your conflict peacefully with restorative justice. Call 876-906-4923. The time by the Ministry of Justice is
13 minutes to 11.
If you are 40 and over, CCRP offers a world of benefits. Access to valuable health plans from Sagicor, discounted home and auto insurance from J&GI, and discounts from over 100 retailers and service providers. Enjoy wonderful tours, social events, and much more. Visit our website, ccrponline.org for details. CCRP, life to the fullest.
Looking to add a touch of elegance to your room? The Lighting World by Fosrich is having a massive lighting blowout sale. Get your wall lamps, chandeliers, ceiling lamps, fans, and more at amazingly low prices. Sale begins Sunday, September 29, with up to 50% off selected items. It's the Fosrich Lighting Blowout Sale, September 29. Shop and save only at Fosrich. Open Sundays.
Yes, Kemlani Mart is making deals.
Really? Deals like what?
On scratch, dented, new furniture and appliances.
Oh, that's great.
And that's not all. Kemlani Mart has tiles, toilets, doors at crazy low prices.
So I can make a deal on a sofa set?
Of course, and dining room sets, outdoor furniture, ACs and more. No reasonable offer will be refused.
Only at Kemlani Mart, Manor Center and 77 King Street.
I love this place, you see.
The Coconut Industry Board is encouraging all registered farmers to make contact with their advisory officers and complete the Farmers Damage Assessment Form. Forms should be submitted to the advisory officers before the 31st of October 2024. While the industry was not severely affected by Hurricane Beryl, significant tree and knot loss was reduced. The CIB will provide additional replacement seedlings and fertilizer based on the calculated damage assessment triggers.
Are you ready to own your car in 2024? Then EduCom has got a deal for you. 100% financing for motor vehicles up to 3 years old, no upfront processing fees. Special discounts by select dealers, including $100,000 towards insurance premiums and cashback of $250,000. Conditions apply. Hurry down to EduCom. Seize the deal. Call us at 876-926-6973 for more info. EduCom Cooperative Credit Union Limited, providing value through service.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light, and I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock, like a rock.
10 minutes to 11. Our first call of the morning and the week. Dave.
Hi, Cliff Hughes. How are you doing, man?
I'm alive and well, and you?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Very good.
Okay, I just want to comment on the recently concluded Blue Dots poll.
Yes.
The presentations on Friday, the culmination of 5 or so days. Well done as usual. But there's one area that I think is underwater, as as you would say, that I would like some clarification on because I didn't get it during the presentation, and that is the parish findings. No, if the same data set is used, approximately 1,300, that was it?
1,246.
All right, approximately 1,300, right, 1,246.
Yes.
Then, for the national outlook, at the various topics, questions and answers, that seems okay at a 3% margin of error. But if it is the same data set that is being used over the 14 parishes, then each parish will be averaging out of less than 100. No, I'm clarifying now, tell me it's not so. No, if that is used, then the margin of error for the parishes will be very, very high, so it couldn't be reliable. As in the case of the one done in February, where I think Hanover was slated to go the other way. And this one has St. Catherine way down at something like St. Thomas way down at something like 16, which I don't think is credible because the margin of error is too high. So did you get any explanation as to if they were, or if you are taking the parish profile seriously, the parish findings seriously?
I cannot answer that question, sir. I am not one of the data scientists. I can't. You're carrying me into a lane now that I don't know much about. Yes, I would have to ask the Blue Dot people. Yes, they're the ones with the knowledge of the data set and what you're asking about the margin of error at the parish level. I'd really have to ask the people at Blue Dot. Nora, if you can get either Janae or Laren for me. Yes, how we come to the parish figures. I think that is your concern, sir.
Exactly, because from my memory of listening to polls and paying attention to polls and doing a few myself.
Oh, you did polls too?
Yes, I did a few polls myself. Mainly on sports, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so maybe I'm commenting on another post at some point I heard broke out some parish profiles, and while he was doing his presentation, he said, do not take the parish profiles too seriously. If you want me to give it to you, I'll give it to you. But don't take them too seriously because it's the same data set and the sample is very much too small. So
who said that?
A poster. I don't want to call his name.
Oh, I thought you said
right.
One of the Blue Dot posters.
No, not poster, another poster, right?
Okay.
A competing poster. You probably know
okay.
Right. So, and he was saying, no, I wouldn't want to break out the parish profiles for UP parish finding because it is there, but we can't take it too seriously because the margin of error would be massive. Since it's the same one data set we are using, we're not using another data set whereby we're covering 600 or so near to 1,000.
Yes.
It's going to work with about 100.
Uh-huh.
So from my humble opinion, call the people and ask them if they take it seriously, and if they do take it seriously, explain it.
Yes, sir. I think that's a very fair, legitimate question. In fact, a number of persons, several persons, have raised similar points, arguments, issues with me re the parish findings.
Right.
Yes?
Findings, yeah.
I myself did say during the broadcast last Friday that there were some of those findings that I find difficult. They found, for example, that the JLP was now leading in Hanover. This is after the PNP swept the local elections in February in Hanover, winning all the divisions in Hanover. Yeah? I found that strange. Yeah? So I would have to put it to the Blue Dot people how do we account for the higher margin of error, or did they interview more people at the parish level?
So that's a good explanation. The same thing happened in February, just prior to the local government election. Portland was supposed to be behind by 20%. And then by the time local government election came about, they swept the parish. I think the same parish findings were being used. So that's another issue there. And what the Vazes are very skillful at campaigning.
What had happened, well, there was a clear explanation for that. Because what the Vazes did, the previous poll that was 6 months before, had shown the JLP and the Vazes in serious trouble.
Yes.
And I remember Mr. Vaz telling us, we do have no problems with the poll. It means that we have to go walk now.
Right.
And he did that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if those findings were the parish findings they were pointing to, I would see even though the good works that the Vazes put in, then I would see the problem there. St. Thomas is a problem for me also, based on what is happening with the road work and et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
I don't see when the two political parties are really competitive, I don't see any constituency outside of the ones we like to label as garrison being up 75% and 80% over the other one. No, and I'm not seeing that in a normal constituencies, what we call normal constituencies.
Yes.
I don't see that, right? So
Point taken, sir. Won't quarrel with you. Point taken.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Good. Hello? Orel. Good morning. Orel?
Morning, Mr. Yes, Mr. Hughes, morning. The
Good
same
morning.
earlier did I try to talk to you the other day, but the phone cut off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Hughes, you know, say, you love the politics, not you?
Yes, I do.
I tell you, you know, when me listen to you, sir, and watch you, the excitement when me see you get about it. You know, see, you excite me about it too. I made it love. No, honestly. You see, as I laugh. You see, as a youngster, like, I don't understand how people not love politics in terms of knowing what them government are going to do for them and
Are not
do and supposed to do when time them get in a office. You know, I hear a lady call the other day, you know, and that lady still there on the mind of mine, where which she talk to you and she said she have 5 subjects, right?
Yes.
And you talk to her, you know, after you realize and she said she have 5 subjects. And the way how she talk and the way she pretty much brush you off when it comes to that part there, because she has pretty much in America, yes, so she want to come. But, you know, me go say this to her, and hopefully she'll listen. You see, me live in the Bronx, right? And me live here from me a 15-year-old, from 1996. Me a 44-year-old right now, Mr. Hughes.
Almost
And let me
30
tell you
years.
something. Yes. And let me tell you something. You hear how me talk, Mr. Hughes? Nothing frighten me about America. This place, yeah, people think, say, this place is a better road. Mr. Hughes, me can tell you right now, my between me and my wife, the way we have to work, Mr. Hughes, if you come here and you want something, you have to work for it. You have to do the 2 job.
Yes.
You understand? You still have a spouse and she have to do 2 job too. And sometimes you have your kids, Mr. Hughes, and you hardly can even still do what you're supposed to do and have a little thing left over. You understand me? So I want Jamaicans to know. Me come to Jamaica, Mr. Hughes, and me see people at Jamaica I live better than enough of we up here. And I want people to understand. So you see, without credit card in America sometimes, a whole heap of road and a sleep or do or dead for hungry. Me I tell you that much.
Yeah.
You hear me? Because without that, and that bridge the gap, sometimes for a lot of us.
It's a credit economy.
Me?
A credit economy.
Exactly, Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes, I'm going to tell you something. Me start advertise on your radio. You hear me big up Lisa in the advertising here already.
Oh.
And remember me tell you, because me have one little business, you see, and me want to be able to can improve the life of myself and also people at Jamaica. I listen to how Bush Stewart started Sandals. And me say, take a magician to do what him do. All you need is discipline. You understand me, Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
I remember me tell you, I started advertising for your station last week, the ad start run. I remember me tell you, because of you, and because the way how me see a station is a neutral place where which I man see, where which me know say people in your place they are PMP and who are labor right. But you never see it. Like when time them talk, you don't really see the division. You understand? You don't keep it neutral. And at this moment, people at Jamaica to know, you don't stop with this labor right and PMP because at the end of the day, I uno suffer. I uno now get the road when me drive down there. I'm about 2 tires last year, one time. Look. In a one big old hole. You understand me, Mr. Hughes?
Yes, sir.
At $13,000 piece, me have to go and go pay for one for each one of them to put it back on the vehicle. You hear me? I tell the things that people need to go about and pressure on representatives and stop about this color business because the color now put nothing in your pocket. You understand me? You need the infrastructures out there where in which we can get it. Right now, Mr. Hughes, my little business, they have no internet. You understand? From the storm till now,
what kind of business you're in?
I want Airbnb. Me have a man for a spur tree. Okay. In Spur Tree Home Away Villas.
Spur Tree?
Spur Tree Home Away Villas.
Okay. Oh.
It's located right before you go down Spur Tree Hill, in Manchester.
Yes. How can people book the time at Spur Tree Home Away Villas?
All right, so just like it says, Spur Tree Home Away Villas and Airbnb, or you can call 646-824-5232.
And what are the amenities like there? May I give you a free ad now, you know?
Yo, Mr. Hughes, me bless you, man, and thank you a lot, man.
Yes.
So we have flat screen TV in each room. We have fridge in each room, the little mini fridge them. We have also pool. We have also a trampoline for the kids them. We also have where in which we don't have no AC because the place is so cool, Mr. Hughes. You don't even need no AC. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because you sit down right on top of the hill, you know, and the place is just nice. You have, as I say, you have nothing but smart locks, so you don't need no key to get into the place. It's smart locks, so you just put in your code, you get in and out, easy access. You got a remote gate where in which you don't have to come out of your vehicle to open your gate. What else? The grounds is pretty much big, Mr. Hughes. If you want to keep a wedding on it, you can do that. You want to keep an event over there, it's there. You understand? It is a beautiful property. You know, when you did something the other day, last year, Mr. Hughes, a Manchester up at the blind.
Oh, the
people that are blind.
Yes.
And I listened to you, you know, and trust me, you know, that thing stir up so much good things in my heart, Mr. Hughes. Mr. Man will always love to give back to people who make sense, you know, Mr. Hughes. You understand? And I see where in which, you see when time you bring on them people that on the program and the way you talk to them, people don't understand that sometimes, you see the people that who talk on these platforms, they make a hell of a difference, you know, Mr. Hughes.
Of course.
I mean, I tell you, say, you make a hell of a difference. You see, up here, Mr. Hughes, I listen to one station and they sell it. I remember me tell you from them sell it, come like me just switch totally to you down there. I'm going to be honest with you. If me don't listen to you a day, or this station a day, I feel like there's something missing.
Oh, that's good.
I swear to God, Mr. Hughes. Because guess what? Yes, I get the information. Because you know what? Me now go to the blog of them because a lot of time you go to the blog of them and I see them thing where you report when time you bring the people them on the program. I see them thing them a twist and turn certain way. So me go straight to the source. Mr. Hughes, Mr. Manuel love to go to the source. And you see me like support people who me see make a difference in my community. And Mr. Hughes, me not lie to you. A whole heap of things we need at Jamaica. Me did there the Prime Minister 2 Saturdays ago, right here at Lehman College. And if you listen to the thing too, me did ask him some question on one of them things there. You understand?
Okay.
And I see him one time I put certain things to him. You understand?
Yes.
And he take the time afterward and he talk to it.
Yes.
You understand? I mean, not lie to you, Mr. Hughes. That man, if him only start go back on the ground, he can't lose, you know. But them need the footwork back on the ground, Mr. Hughes. Because I did it and I see it for true, you know. Because me just come up, you know, Mr. Hughes, that 2 months and 2 days I have to stay at Jamaica because of the hurricane, you know. I go down for 5 days to my sister wedding.
Yes.
5 days I come down for. I may end up spending 2 months and 2 days because the hurricane mashed me up.
Wow.
And then JPS, no light, for almost the 2 months me down there, Mr. Hughes.
Yes.
Nora, because I call Nora and complain. You understand? Right now, see the flow, and no, me can't get back my service. Mr. Hughes, I have my camera them where the place is secure.
Yes.
You understand? I have the smart lock them where which me need that to get in and out of my place. You understand, Mr. Hughes?
So, Aurel, I want to commend you. Yes?
Yes, sir.
You say you're, what, 40, 44?
44, Mr. Hughes.
44. Yes, and you go to America, left Jamaica 30 years ago, and you have done well. And you're now reinvesting in Jamaica. You set up your business in Jamaica. Yes?
Yes,
I'm sure you have to employ somebody to take care of your property here and to make sure the place is clean.
3 persons, Mr. Hughes, currently. 3.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Big up yourself, Aurel. And
I thank you a lot, sir.
And somebody in the YouTube platform was saying 30 years and not a little accent.
Because that's not frighten me, Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes, I grew up with my father and look just like you. I send you one picture of my father, you think so, your brother. Who don't look alike. I swear to you, Gaston does the name. You understand me? He look, Mr. Hughes, a three no look alike. Him, you, and Oliver. I swear to you. I swear to you, Mr. Hughes.
All right, sir.
Anyway, big up
Take care of yourself, Aurel. Yes, man.
Call you.
And tell me before you go, where you want a lovely spot on Spur Tree Hill, to spend a little time, rest and relaxation with pool, very well secured, automated locks. How many bedrooms, Aurel?
All right, so the property, Mr. Hughes, consists of 13 bedrooms. But however, the main house has 6 bedrooms. So 6 bedroom living, dining, big kitchen, big. And then now we have a 1 bedroom suite with kitchen, bathroom, living, dining, and all of that. And then we have a 2 bedroom suite with kitchen, bathroom, living, dining, just like that also. So it's like 3 sections to the property. You have a 6 bedroom with all of those separate. Then you have a 1 bedroom suite separate, and then a 2 bedroom separate. So it's like 3 different areas. So if you want just a 1 bedroom suite with your own everything, it's there. You want a 2 bedroom suite, each room has its own bathroom. It's set up nice, you know.
Tell us how they do their booking again on Airbnb. What should they look for?
Okay, so you just go on Airbnb and you type in Spur Tree Home Away Villas Airbnb, and it will pop up.
Good.
And everything that you would ever need in order to get to the property is right there. All you have to do is just click on it. The direction is my wife worked very hard, so right now the GPS take you straight to the house.
Very well. Big up yourself, Aurel. And when you book on Airbnb, you leave a message. Tell Aurel and his team that you heard it on Cliff Hughes Online on Nationwide 90 FM. All right?
God, man. I thank you, sir. And please, let them know them can call 646-824-5232 and just ask for Natoya with an N. Natoya.
Repeat the number. 646.
646-824-5232.
Right.
And her name is Natoya, Natoya. And if you don't get her, just leave her a message and she will get back to you. And WhatsApp, the same thing.
Good. All right. Take care of yourself. All right.
They want accent. Mr. Hughes hear the accent a while ago. That's
all
the
right.
best we can do, Mr. Hughes.
All right. You stay genuine.
Bless up.
Cool.
Bless up, sir.
Good. All right. It's 10 minutes after 11. After the break, Rodney Campbell is on the ground in Northeast St. Anne, the by-election.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see.
Super healthy, super happy. SuperMed located in Kingston, St. Thomas, Portland, and St. Mary. The time by SuperMed family of pharmacies and Hughes Den Pharmacy is
11 minutes after 11.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters. The go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works. Workers. People who are powerful because they power through day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power, it's not something you can buy or collect. It is something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snack Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Don't miss Info Exchange's Business Cloud Forum, October 1 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Global technology leaders, Nutanix, IBM, HPE Aruba, Zerto, and Exagrid will be here sharing insights and live demos. Discover how AI is reshaping industries and increasing efficiencies. Learn proven technologies to build operational resilience and protect your business from disruption. Register now at infoexchangeja.com. Info Exchange. Smart technology, better business.
Yes, Kemlani Mart is making deals.
Really? Deals like what?
On scratch, dented, new furniture and appliances.
Oh, that's great.
And that's not all. Kemlani Mart has tiles, toilets, doors at crazy low prices.
So I can make a deal on a sofa set?
Of course, and dining room sets, outdoor furniture, ACs and more. No reasonable offer will be refused.
Only at Kemlani Mart, Manor Center and 77 King Street.
I love this place, you see.
The Coconut Industry Board is encouraging all registered farmers to make contact with their advisory officers and complete the Farmers Damage Assessment Form. Forms should be submitted to the advisory officers before the 31st of October 2024. While the industry was not severely affected by Hurricane Beryl, significant tree and knot loss was reduced. The CIB will provide additional replacement seedlings and fertilizer based on the calculated damage assessment triggers.
From time immemorial, it's been said even some of the wisest men in the Bible had many wives. But Western ways want to warn women against accepting that teaching. Still, there are many men today who aspire to be Solomon, but can't find partners who agree. So why do some women decide to stalk, confront, message, argue, and even go to war with other women who share their space and time? Isn't it better to leave what you can't manage or discuss it with the man of the moment? Work it out or leave the work. Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic: why do mating hens fight over the rooster?
The mission of the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs includes revising Jamaica's legal and constitutional infrastructure and accelerating the pace of reform. The time by the MLCA is
14 minutes after.
Attention, all data protection enthusiasts. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM every Tuesday at 8:20 a.m. and Thursday at 8:25 a.m. for a new program, Data Protection Matters. Starting June 4, 2024, join us as we delve into crucial topics that will keep you informed and compliant. Data Protection Matters is hosted by Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy, your trusted partner in data protection. Don't miss out. That's every Tuesday morning at 8:20 and every Thursday at 8:25 a.m. Stay protected, stay informed with Nationwide 90 FM and Design Privacy.
Tune in to our program live from our YouTube channel, Nationwide 90 FM. And remember to like, subscribe, and share our content. And we're also on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693.
The mission of the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs includes revising Jamaica's legal and constitutional infrastructure and accelerating the pace of reform. The time by the MLCA is
15 minutes after 11.
Cliff Hughes Online. Talk radio for all Jamaicans.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright.
You know, we just spoke with that caller out of the Bronx, a young Jamaican entrepreneur, and he told me about his Airbnb in Spur Tree. And if you are on our YouTube platform, we found the visuals of the place. It's a lovely place. There it is, Spur Tree Villa. Just look at it. Beautiful, right? On Spur Tree, home away villas. And there is Natoya that you can call, yes, and you see the numbers, 646, yes, right there. And, you know, I want to encourage and to support this young entrepreneur, yeah, migrated to New York 30 years ago and has reinvested in his country and has started an Airbnb. Yeah, give him your support if you will, please. Yeah, look at the property. It's just magnificent. Yes? And Spur Tree Villa is the name of it. Yeah, just look at it. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah? Give them a call. Right? Wow. And there is Natoya, who he spoke about. Yes? Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. All right. So give them a call at Spur Tree Home Away Villa. All right? It's 17 minutes after 11. Do we have Rodney? Okay. At 17 minutes after 11, the polls opened at 7, or should have opened at 7 this morning. That's over 5 hours ago. Good morning, Rodney.
Good morning, Cliff.
Yes. How is it going in the by-election in Northeast St. Anne?
Well, we visited several other spots after we did the update earlier this morning. We ended up leaving Exchange and heading into Steertown and Chalky Hill. Pretty much those polling stations opened on time. It is reasonable to say we saw light activity by majority for all those polling stations and clusters that we passed. We went into a few of them to try and look around to see, maybe because some of them are schools which require you to walk, all the way down onto the actual premises and try to see in various rooms what kind of activity was happening. So it's very light. And given the history of this Northeast St. Anne seat, a lot of the voting majority comes out probably in that work time break. So it's expected that around about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, far more people will come out. With our own estimation, without giving what we can call empirical data, I'd say we're, at present, most of the visits we've seen, the voting has been give and take about below 10%. I'd say 7-8% thus far.
So was there wasn't any noticeable early morning rush to vote and then get to work? That wasn't noticeable?
No, that wasn't noticeable. However, there were 2 places, Ocherios Primary, had a lot of the colors and activity being planned, and with a tent on the sidewalk, and we saw 2 other places, polling stations, with that same kind of energy. But in terms of the activity for voting, it's been I'd call it a slow trickle, as some who are experienced in this seat have said. Well, look for a pickup going into the early afternoon, and hopefully the weather will also hold up and not necessarily prevent a lot of people from getting out either.
Yes. So you don't have the hard data yet, and I'm sure the outdoor agents will be able to help you with that, Rodney. They know they have their list of voters. Hold on, Rodney. You can consult with the outdoor agents.
We did.
Yes, and they should be able to tell you. Well, 50 people on the voters list. Only 5 we say so far.
We attempted to get that information from 3 of the outdoor agents, and at that time it was understood that they had not got together to do their tally and did not want to provide information. Otherwise, other sources would have been a little bit uncomfortable to try and get that information.
Understood. As the day wears on, that is a key that we would love to hear, and our listeners would be interested in hearing.
Yeah.
What is the turnout?
Yeah. To the best of my knowledge, though, what I can say is that without them giving the hard numbers, this 7-8% was thrown based on their experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it is fair to say, on average, out of, say, 256, you had about 17 people out of that number. So you're going anywhere from a low of about 3.5% up to a high of 7 thus far.
Yes.
All right. So what I will do is we're going to try. Right now we're in Prairie, so we're trying to get around as much as possible and gain empirical data.
Okay.
But, our erstwhile producer has promised that we should have some information, hopefully, a little bit before midday.
All right. Any untoward incident? Everything so far incident free?
Incident free. There was just something that appeared to be personal and not political between two people on the ground. So outside of that, everything has been, for now, I'd call it a pulse of excitement to come, but pedestrian inactivity.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you very much, Rodney.
Thanks,
Good. 23 minutes after 11. And not surprising, as I said to you at the start of the program this morning, if there's a turnout in excess of 15% today, I'd be very surprised. A bit surprised, yeah? I'm sure the Labour Party is going to try and push to get as many of its supporters as possible to the polling stations across Northeast St. Ann. All right? One of the things we picked up this morning from the team on the ground in St. Ann is a level of apathy. Yeah? Yeah? They had a few interviews, and one of them was with this young man, yes, who said, listen, he's not interested in voting.
All right, so once again, we're right here on Main Street, and we're asking different people, different age groups, are you planning to vote today? As a young man, why not?
I don't really see well, for first, it don't really interest me to vote. That's one of the main reasons, because I don't have an interest to vote.
Neither of the two parties have inspired you in any way, or nothing about your community or your country has inspired you to want to be one of the people who can decide who represents you and what you get as a young person for your family, your community, or your country?
No, sir.
Wow. Is your family a family who generally, when elections come around, they vote, or generally your family is not interested and you've never been interested?
My great-grandmother used to vote.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I don't want to vote.
And your friends group, you find that a lot of your friends share your views as well?
Well, I didn't ask, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, let's hope that as time goes by, you'll find a little bit more reason to be involved in the process. Yeah? All right. Thanks very much.
All right. That was only one of several interviews and pretty much the same thing. Yeah, so we have one more. Here's another one.
Why are you not out voting at this minute?
Voting at this minute wouldn't be in my favor, because since I don't know what the purpose these guys are doing, may I say, the voting thing on, because I don't see the development in my community, which I hope to see them do, may I say. So voting right now wouldn't be in my, considering what they're doing, it doesn't affect my community. And
what's happening in your community? What is it like? Is that the roads and fix what?
Well, my community is a diverse community. There's a lot of, development in where tourism could be the essence in my community. We could have, the TD could put in some intervention, the government could put in some intervention, but whereas in whereas in developing the community or having that process, they don't committed to see that they want to commit to their numbers, you know what I'm saying? So, as I said, voting is not really something that, you know, impact me, you know what I say? So that's the reason why I'm not in that lineup, you know, because there's so many development need to be happening in my community where they need to get involved and they're not involved.
Where's your community exactly?
That's in Grey Pond, St. Anne's, you know, right here in Ochi Rise. See, and there's a community where a lot of tourists visit at times, and there are nothing, you know, that productive that the community could, you know, govern their own tourism products that they have, you know, because there's so many tourism products in my community that the government could tap into and the community could be benefiting, but obviously that's not happening, you know, whereas the concern as politicians and, you know, persons who could do, you know, due process in that they don't seems to take a, you know, turn a blind eye on those kind of products.
Thank you.
You know, yeah, man.
Sonia Stewart there speaking with that resident of Northeast St. Anne. And therein lies part of the difficulty today, where people are just not interested. Not interested at all. Yeah? Time for the break. After the break, more of your calls.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock.
Calling all fishermen in Jamaica. We are in the hurricane season. Weather changes are more frequent and you need your daily marine weather forecast to keep you informed of these changes. Hurry and register now with the Jamaica Fishermen Cooperative Union Limited. They will see that you get your daily marine report on time. Visit them at 44 Beechwood Avenue or call 876-968-0411. Don't delay.
Yes, Kemlani Mart is making deals.
Really? Deals like what?
On scratch, dented, new furniture and appliances.
Oh, that's great.
And that's not all. Kemlani Mart has tiles, toilets, doors at crazy low prices.
So I can make a deal on a sofa set?
Of course, and dining room sets, outdoor furniture, ACs and more. No reasonable offer will be refused.
Only at Kemlani Mart, Manor Center and 77 King Street.
I love this place, you see.
This is a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The Ministry of Health and Wellness wishes to advise awardees of the Dr. Barrington Waite Memorial Scholarship Program that the deadline to complete their bonding agreement has been extended to Friday, October 18, 2024. Awardees who face challenges with meeting the requirements of their bonding agreement are encouraged to call the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service at 876-922-8600 or visit the office at 30 National Heroes Circle, Kingston 4. They can also send an email to collet.mccausland@mof.gov.jm. That was a public service announcement from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock.
29 minutes going up to noon. Lishane, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Hughes.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm not there.
All right.
I to you after me talk about you, my sister, so I'm not come look at work at your radio station. I tell her, you know what, me this stuff. I feel work, me that come take over, because I feel sitting there like your program.
You want to be a talk show host?
I would love to be one.
You sure?
Very,
it's not an
sure.
easy job, you know.
Be
careful how you ask for, you know.
Let me tell you something. Life on its own is very difficult.
Yes.
Yes. And once you're a part of this world, guess what you have to deal with? Human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And that will never be easy.
Yes.
Else there wouldn't be a talk show in the first place. Because sometimes we call to talk about things we go through with human beings.
Right.
Like now.
Well,
I would like to know.
Before you go, if you ever know what them put me through, you'd never want to do this work.
Let me tell you something, man.
You would never want it.
Mr. Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
I always say to my sister, other people, I say to them, even the other day I was in tax office. I went in the tax office like about 11 o'clock, some 10:30, 11 o'clock, right? And I left tax office about 2 o'clock. And what I went there to do was a simple transaction as registering a vehicle. Like just re-register, go and license your vehicle. Mm-hmm. That's all I went there to do. The thing up September, and because I know today would be like Monday, working day and so forth, I said that I'm going to do it Friday. And believe you me, Mr. Hughes, I'm standing in a cashier line, and Spanish Town tax office has 12 windows for cashiers. And I'm standing in a line for 4 hours.
And all 12 of them were on duty?
No, you have like 2, 3 the most.
Oh.
Sometimes when a customer goes to one of them, it's like them just diligently, like just casually move. Them not move with no urgency, no nothing. Somebody pass them, they might talk to the person who passed them. You have this guy, I don't know who is he there. But every one of them will go to them, they talk to him for like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. You understand me? What I saw happen there in front of my eyes, there was this guy behind me. Someone came in that work at the tax office. I was talking to him and I said, boy, I can't believe they come to pay my money. And I feel turn up in a line and wait to give them money. And I them want the money. Mm-hmm. Right? However, we were there and we were a bit disgruntled because we were too long. The man said, yo, let us until about 3 o'clock, Right? However, I left there about 2:30. Anyways, a lady come to him. Apparently, she know him. She came to him like he had some renewal of something, but the cost was like $3,000. And the woman say, yo, I can't get it for you, but $6 grand, right? I say, yo, but because the government is not employing enough, I'm saying that they're not, because obviously, if 2 or 3 people there, so Mr. Hughes, I'm more short staff. Because the supervisor can't do and let more than half, it's almost 70% of the workers that's supposed to be at their station are not there. You understand me? And I think an establishment like that, tax office, where you're dealing with money, you are collect the country's money. Mm-hmm. Are you are the treasurer for the country right there? So are you at the chest? So everybody are going to put the money in the field, right? And it can't be that the supervisor can structure things. So them go up on lunch. They can't have 12 stations and 70% of your staff go up on lunch. We're working at the same area. You understand me? I say?
Yeah.
So a supervisor would be there structuring. So it has to be short staff.
What time were you there, sir?
Like I said, I was there from about 11 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And I left 2:20 something. And I was just registering the vehicle. Just go there, get the 2025 sticker in September of next year, and give them the $12,600. Mm-hmm. And I got to like 2:30, about 4 hours I was there. Or 5, I'm not sure. I don't remember how the math go. But what I'm saying is that, and when I was there, people them are saying, yo, go on TikTok. I said, no, TikTok is mediocre. TikTok is some little joker. And some people when don't really have much information run go on TikTok and make talks. We call Cliff Hughes, we call other stations where upscale and productive people listen to. Somebody a drive go work, they might listen to a Cliff Hughes in them car. They might drive go from one location, go view a building or something. They might listen to Cliff Hughes in them car. Productive people. Even Mr. Wall is there in office, him thing there, the thing. Is that what I say?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the compliment.
No, but it is reality.
Yes.
Upscale people now going to listen to a TikTok to run with that information.
Yes.
We know that. It's reality. Whether you want to admit it or not, it is reality.
And which of the tax offices you were?
Spanish Town Tax Office. Spanish Town Tax Office is one of the busiest tax offices you know.
Well, somebody on YouTube is saying, Marsha Bunny, Old Harbour Tax Office is superb. So you may want to try them out next time.
Hold on. Mr. Hughes, nobody now will tell me about Old Harbour, man. You see, Old Harbour, I'd start to Old Harbour Tax Office. Take it as me tell you. But at the time, you don't know how hard to make a run in Kingston and I live at Caymanas. They know Caymanas is like 5 minutes away from the tax office, right? And so I had to just I went there. But when we go there, man, you know you wait for a while. But when you find out the things now go on as they're supposed to go on, you say it's too late to leave. I reached to the people them late because I'm supposed to reach like 2:45. And when time I left, it was almost 2:30.
Okay. All right, Lishane. Sorry.
The government needs to do better, Mr. Hughes, man.
Certainly. Thank you, Lishane.
And these are the things that PNP here try lobby for. Go on, find productive things that are not being done, road when are fixed, tax office that are not operating as they're supposed to, national housing trust places that are not operating as they're supposed to, NIS, all of those government entities. Hospital, go at them, place them, man. Left hand to this and him 28 bank account. We don't business about that. That now take me. If we don't want to $100 billion, make sure say we all right. We good.
No, sir. You can't. No, sir. That's all right.
I'm not condoning anything, But what I'm saying, Mr. Hughes, is that deal with the matters that are affecting the people real time. You cannot waste funds and everything. Because the government and say, if you spend money right, so we have spend money there, so.
I get you.
People at work, so.
All right, Lishane. Thank you.
Yes, man. Look up yourself, yeah?
You too. Good. 21 minutes going up to noon. Ronnie, good morning.
Robbie. Yeah, man. Robbie is here, Mr. Hughes.
Yes, morning.
Yes, sir. I think my born 64. I think you're about 2 years older than me. So, before I follow politics, follow politics, but I'm 76. Yeah? So, but right now, I see where the PMP seems like I'm going about, PMP about 30 seats right now. And my poll is this. We have 4 consequences where I will decide the election. From this stand is Mr. Andrew Holness' wife, the Minister of Education, the Rastaman over St. Catherine there,
Terry
Long, and West and South St. Elizabeth.
Which one are the South St. Elizabeth seats?
South, that's
no
on the south side there. I think he was the deputy speaker one at the time. I can't remember his name.
You mean southeast?
South.
So you have 2 South St. Elizabeth seats. One southeast.
Southeast.
And you have southwest.
Yeah, man, southeast. Yes. If I agree, it seems like he might give up that seat if you know.
Oh.
No, I think say, but you think them 4 seats are going to decide the next election.
How you come to those 4 seats as the deciders?
Well, you may follow your team, but you help me come to them.
Me?
When I look on the local government election, and then follow you on the poll that you give me the other day, I come to that.
Oh?
Yeah, man. Because, but what I said, I think I talk to you about that when you have a good MP, like we have Sheeny Robinson, and you have Miss Darrell Vaz over Portland. I don't see, but it seems like some of the people them boy don't love good treatment too. Because when I look at Miss Rhoda is a man in Manchester there. we do such a good work. I think they should have a safety like O'Sheen Robinson return that PMP consequences or St.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but some of the people them directly not change no matter what you do for them. You know, them not change, them just stick to the party where them love. You know?
Yes.
You know, look at what you, no matter how good you work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that is my little piece today. I mean, I know. I think the gentleman was getting on some good points, but when he go back to say the Prime Minister, them can't take anything that make me think different. You know. Yeah, him should never use that part at all because it not work if it work.
But going back to the 4 seats you have identified, East Rural St. Andrew, Eastern St. Andrew, East Central St. Catherine, and Southeast St. Elizabeth.
And you know, I never put the seat in it, you know, that Waterford seat, big
Rob.
I didn't
Southeast St. Catherine.
I didn't check that seat in any column at all.
Oh.
In my calculation.
Yes.
Yeah. But
what I can tell you without any data.
Yeah.
East Rural St. Andrew, where Juliet Holness is.
Yeah.
Tends to swing.
It
tends to swing. It is a swing seat. It tends to vote for the winning party. Yeah. So it is one of the seats that I personally watch.
Well, and if the JLP going to win, then that seat will go to JLP.
Well, if the JLP is hanging on in East Rural St. Andrew, it would...
Well, I think they might hang on there.
Well, I don't know yet. I say if they're hanging on in East Rural St. Andrew on election night, they may be hanging on in the country.
Oh, okay.
Yes? And if East Rural St. Andrew is staying with the JLP, and then I see Floyd is holding on in Southwest St. Elizabeth, then that would indicate that the JLP could be on its way to winning.
But at least VMP get back that seat there.
Which one?
Fly Green.
Why you say that?
No, man. So I think I don't see Mr. Tough time going to go to work for work and then get realigned. But I think Mr. Fly Green I do some work for work down there. I don't think them will get back that seat there. Me have that seat there stay for the JLP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
well, the people in Southwest St. Elizabeth, you know, they are some of the most informed voters.
Yeah.
They are not only informed, but of all our so-called weather vane seats, it is, the most reliable of the weather vane seats in the country.
Okay.
Southwest St. Elizabeth.
What about St. Mary? Eastern with this, I don't remember the gentleman's name, but that seat always be a swing seat too.
Which one? West St. Mary. West is usually the swing one in St. Mary. That's Bobby Montague seat.
No, and the next one up at top that always swing to Bass.
Which one?
The one nearer to Castleton there.
Southeast?
Yeah?
In the really swing. No. In the
to swing. Me have that seat for the PMP, do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm telling you in terms of the history of the weather vane seats, Southeast St. Mary doesn't really swing. For many years, it was a strong Labour seat.
Okay.
Alvarez, the Ross family.
Two me come at town in the 80s. My never follow it up too tough. So,
the seat in St. Mary that tends to swing is Bobby Montague's seat.
Montague, yeah. But
Western St. Mary.
Montague I go do. But I have all of those seats for the PMP. I think they're going to lose.
You think he will lose Western St. Mary?
Yeah. I think PMP will take back.
Yeah.
Just like I think they're going to take back Mandeville and go, all the Shaw seats seem like it have a chance.
I don't think so anymore, you know. If the Labour Party has neglected Northeast Manchester, they know that Audley is not well. The organisation in the seat is crumbling. The PNP did very well in Northeast Manchester in the local elections. And the Labour Party is dithering about what to do with Northeast Manchester.
Yeah.
And as we all know, Audley is past. He's not physically able to do what he used to do. And they seem as if they want to give it away.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Man, based on the polls, sir, based on the polls,
Yeah.
the PNP is running way ahead in Manchester.
Yeah,
Way
I
ahead
look
in
on it too.
Manchester.
I look on it too. But I think Miss Crawford get a bad deal. But me I wish her luck.
You wishing her luck.
This gentleman, I think him come from all the shark consequences there. Seems like him knowledgeable with the election results. Them always call and give us some. Them call him and cuss him there. Miss Crawford people them cuss himself if he stay over east or west from there.
Yes.
I need to hear from him for give him.
Yes.
Film seat.
Oh.
Because I was interested.
Yes. Okay.
Because I used to, as a little youth, marry about 10. I used to follow the same man when he beat Sidney Pagan, you know.
Oh.
He run down in St. Elizabeth too. Him is a JLP man, never lose it. All I think they look close to.
J.C. Hutchinson?
Yeah, I don't understand. It seems like if I go down this time, I don't know.
You know, that is an interesting seat. Northwest St. Elizabeth with J.C. Hutchinson. Every time, every election, it is felt that J.C.'s in trouble. And he somehow manages to win.
Yeah, man.
Yes, he's a great survivor.
Yeah.
Yes, he wins.
I think the Maroons, I don't know if that would make a big difference, but them against him, badly.
All right, sir. We'll have to go to the break. Stay with us. Thank you. Time for the break.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was
Furniture Land at 112 Constant Spring Road is Jamaica's premier furniture retailer when searching for stylish and elegant pieces for your home. The time by Furniture Land is
12 minutes to noon.
Don't miss Info Exchange's Business Cloud Forum, October 1 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Global technology leaders, Nutanix, IBM, HPE Aruba, Zerto, and Exagrade will be here sharing insights and live demos. Discover how AI is reshaping industries and increasing efficiencies. Learn proven technologies to build operational resilience and protect your business from disruption. Register now at infoexchangeja.com. Info Exchange, smart technology, better business.
The Coconut Industry Board is encouraging all registered farmers to make contact with their advisory officers and complete the Farmers Damage Assessment Form. Forms should be submitted to the advisory officers before the 31st of October 2024. While the industry was not severely affected by Hurricane Beryl, significant tree and knot loss was reduced. The CIB will provide additional replacement seedlings and fertilizer based on the calculated damage assessment triggers.
Our phone numbers are 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, and 618-8255.
10 minutes going up to noon. Well, we have some more information out of the Northeast St. Anne by-election. At 11 o'clock, that's just about 50 minutes ago, at 11 o'clock this morning, the official figures from the EOJ say the turnout after 5 hours of voting was precisely 5%, 5.12% of the 40,000 eligible voters had voted. That's what? 2,000 people out of a potential list of 40,000. 5% of 40,000. Tell me, Kevin, how much is that? 5% of 40,000. Let me see if you can do mental ability. Yes, Nora, not 2,000. 5%? Yes, 2,000 people. Watch them. The two of them. GSAT picking them. Them can't calculate figures, arithmetic. Yeah, common entrance. You cannot do mental ability on the young people. If you don't have the calculator in front of you, you can't do the arithmetic. If you have 40,000 and only 5% have voted, yes, that means just over 2,000. Yeah? All right. Who is on the line? Billboard, good morning.
Top of the morning, teacher. I was about falling asleep.
Oh, you waiting long.
Anyway, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
As I told you, from 2016 to now, my life is not better. But I'm proud of the government.
Mm-hmm. But your life is not better off.
Not better off.
So how can you be proud of the government that has
Because
been in power for 8 years?
I see the future. I see the future ahead of me, and I know that my grandchildren will succeed.
Explain that.
The development and the type of program that the government is putting forward, we only need to inspire the younger generation to grasp it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main ones that I am very inspired about is the art program there, where they are being paid to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
That is a big plus in my head. I remember when I was a young boy, to learn mechanic trade, I had to pay.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're getting that for free, plus pay.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to waste much of your time because there's so much to talk about, I can't find time to eat. I told you a couple of months ago that Mr. Onus, and I told you a couple of weeks ago, that Mr. Onus must continue pressing him gas, holding brake, heels and toe. I don't worry about the poll. The poll is an inspiration, should be an inspiration to the government also.
Yes.
Mr. Seaga did so much in 1988. And the people in the street were changing, but that time you had a Michael Manley that the people were obsessed about. I don't think you need to worry about them. Just keep on holding the steering wheel and guide this country to how I'm seeing it for the future, to be a prosperous country. Get me?
Yes.
Not to make the poor get him off on. I hear that little man a while ago. I didn't have my agenda, but I've got some of what I want to talk about. This poetry man.
This who?
The gentleman who that Airbnb buys poetry.
Oh, Aurel.
He has, as I say, my shirt not tight for me again. It's big. But it makes my chest feel so big.
Mm-hmm.
To know that he was inspired. Chiefly from your station.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me proud to know that this little light that I see on the stick a couple of years ago, and I tell you about that little light, it has shown so much, that is bringing out so much good in people, generally. The Gleaner Company is owned by Dayton Campbell and Mark Golding, I would imagine.
No, sir, it's not.
Well, it's not, but most because they have tried to hide so much of the progress that is happening in Jamaica.
Mm-mm.
They can say plainly that they are not for the government. Another thing I want to ask you, Blue that poll is not a local poll, right?
It is. The all staff started by a young Jamaican young man, yes, went to school, studied data analytics, yes, and data science, and him and a couple of his peers, yeah, started Blue Dot Insights. They're not. Let me tell you, because they are known. When we joined with them and start doing the polls, the recognition of Blue Dot, people heard about Blue Dot and think that that's their main business, but polling is not their main business. It's data science, data analytics. Yes, their major clients are corporate clients who want to know how people feel about their products. Yes, and want to test, and the market, and they turn to Blue Dot, who are the data scientists, to guide their decision making. Polling is only 1% of their business, It's not their main business. These are young, bright Jamaican professionals starting data science or as a business, as entrepreneurs. Yes, they are. But they do work in Jamaica and the Caribbean as well.
Okay, I think I've come across something like that. It's not only Jamaica there yet.
No, man. All right, I got to go. It's time for the news.
I figured so. That's why I have a cut short.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Billboard.
Doing a station is very inspirational.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Good. All right. It's time now for us to say we have to make way for the world at noon. Yes, the world at noon. And you're going to be hearing the midday news with Tonna Thomas. Yeah?
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. And I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We're having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on Nationwide 90 FM.
Is that really Cliff Hughes talking?
Tune in, turn up the volume, and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also, tune into the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Beanie Man. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Was Cliff Hughes really talking like that?
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
Tune in to our program live from our YouTube channel, Nationwide 90 FM. And remember to like, subscribe, and share our content. And we're also on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
12 o'clock. The News at Noon teasers are brought to you by Educom Cooperative Credit Union, providing value through service.
It's credible and factual. The World at Noon on Nationwide 90 FM.
A very good afternoon to you. I'm Tonna Thomas. Coming up in the Nationwide World at Noon for this afternoon, Monday, September 30, 2024. EOJ says voter turnout in Northeast St. Anne by-election at 11 a.m. was 5%. Several constituents of Northeast St. Anne give reasons for abstaining from by-election polls. More St. Mary men are reporting domestic violence. Jamaica formalizes diplomatic relations with Tunisia. In regional news, UN authorizes Haiti security force for another year. In international news, Marine Le Pen's embezzlement trial begins in Paris. And in sports, national champions Rashawn Clark and Akira Nugent signed to compete at the inaugural Grand Slam track series. The details after the break.
The news at noon teasers were brought to you by Educom Cooperative Credit Union, providing value through service.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
The Midday News is brought to you by Total Tools. We almost always have it.
Now to the details. The Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, says only 5.1% of registered voters in Northeast St. Anne had cast their ballots up to 11 a.m. in today's by-election. There are 43,827 registered voters in the constituency, as per the May 31, 2024 voters list. The race is being contested by the JLP's Matthew Samuda, Chase Neal of the United Independence Congress, and independent candidate David Fritz Anderson. The seat became vacant on September 3, following the resignation of the JLP's Marsha Smith. Polls are due to close at 5 p.m., and the EOJ says the preliminary result should be available by 6:30 p.m. Meanwhile, several registered voters in Northeast St. Anne say they will not be voting in today's by-election. The constituents spoke with Nationwide News on Monday morning. Mahira Stewart reports.
There are 43,827 registered voters in Northeast St. Anne, as per the May 31, 2024 voters list being used for the by-election. But several people say they will not be voting. Common among their reasons for staying away from the polls, inadequate representation. One man cited poor road conditions among his main gripes.
No one who votes have that power. That power still belongs to the man who is elected. He do what he wants, and the man who votes for him doesn't get no satisfaction. As for me, the road from the entrance to my yard is in a deplorable condition. Yet, a bus was sent to take people to various places in Kingston at some whatsoever. How can I leave my house to come to hear a story when the road to which I am living on is in a deplorable condition? Remember, I gave you my money. What are you doing with it? And you want me now to vote? To say what? I have the power to tell you to fix my road? You're not listening to me. No.
His view was shared by a woman who cited what she says is voter fatigue.
When you look at the state of Ocharias, which is the tourist resort, you don't have nothing where entice you want to go and vote. You want clean, you want take care of. You don't have nobody to stand up for the little people. We keep one little round robin. We keep one little something. But you know, you give them one little permit and then by your look, police can turn it up. People get fed up. So they're not interested in voting again. People then get tired. You understand? And then the younger generation, I say, boy, I'm going to see my mother vote for PNP. I'm going to see my mother vote for JLP from my born till now. And then I have nothing for substantial to say. This is what we see happen since they are voting. So they're no business with voting either.
A young female voter agrees.
When you're voting, I remember it's the person that you vote for, supposed to come through and find out what the constituency want, and then them supposed to fix that, right? So each time, me growing up seeing, each time my parents, grandparents, cousins, uncle, everybody in the community are voting, and then things are still the same, or even it get worse.
Another man told us that the general underdevelopment of his community means he has no reason to go out and vote.
There's so many development need to be happening in my community where they need to get involved and they are not involved.
Where's your community exactly?
That's in Grey Pond, St. Anne's, right here in Ocharias. See, and there's a community where a lot of tourists visit at times and there are nothing, that productive that the community could govern their own tourism products that they have, because there's so many tourism products in my community that the government could tap into and the community could be benefiting, but obviously that's not happening.
In the most recent national polls, the local government election in February, voter turnout was 29.6%. Voter turnout in the 2020 general election was approximately 37%. Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
And at least one female voter is calling for greater levels of engagement to attract more young people to the electoral process.
I don't do politics. I don't do the green or the orange or whatever business. So for me, the only thing would be is like for young people, us young people to just like, meetings, not just like meeting for like PMP and Labour, it's separate, but like, community meetings with both parties and then them sit down and then them say, all right, what do you want? You understand what I say? And make the people tell them and then them come in and them fix that. That way it would have been better for everybody.
A young female voter speaking with Nationwide News in Northeast St. Anne. Now, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has broken ground for the $16 million Lancewood Pipeline Extension project in Exchange, St. Anne. The ceremony took place last Friday. The project is being executed by the National Water Commission and is set to serve over 400 residents in Lancewood and surrounding districts. The Prime Minister says the works will include the replacement of old pipelines in the distribution network.
The works, it will entail, first of all, the replacement of old encrusted, probably asbestos pipes that were used for distribution. In other words, these are the pipes that would take water from the main to your house. So these pipes will be running, I think they usually call them the laterals. They run from the main onto the connecting road. But we are also in procurement for works to be done on the main, as was announced, and that is a $300 million project, which will increase the main to a 10-inch main using what is called ductile iron pipes, which are much better, much stronger, and last much longer, and can take more pressure.
Mr. Holness says his administration is committed to delivering its promise to improve water systems, especially in rural communities.
We have already spent quite a bit to improve the pumping facilities, and the strategy behind this entire investment is to be able to move water from the pumping station to the storage tanks, and then of course from the storage tanks through to the new distribution line. So there are many communities that for decades have been without water. Decades. Probably never had an expectation that water would come to their community. But now, I believe most Jamaicans are seeing that this administration is capable of fulfilling the expectations for water. Indeed, we are making the investments in water.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Jamaica has established diplomatic relations with the Republic of Tunisia. This follows the signing of a joint communique by Jamaica's Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Kamina Johnson-Smith, and her Tunisian counterpart, Mohamed Ali Nafti, on the margins of the high-level week of the 79th session of the UN General Assembly. Minister Johnson-Smith says the move is an important step as it broadens Jamaica's diplomatic outreach, particularly within Africa. She says it is in keeping with the government's commitment to deepening ties with non-traditional partner countries on the African continent. The minister says the move also aligns with the government's strategic efforts to identify opportunities for enhancing trade and investment in support of the country's economic development. In their first bilateral discussion, the two foreign ministers welcomed opportunities for cooperation at both the bilateral and multilateral levels, including in key areas such as tourism, education, and cultural exchange, while also advancing the shared goals of the UN Sustainable Development Agenda. Tunisia brings to 170 the number of countries with which Jamaica has established diplomatic relations. Men in St. Mary are increasingly coming forward to report that they are victims of domestic abuse. Statistics from the Domestic Violence Intervention Center in the parish indicate that between January and August this year, 38 men made reports. 93 reports were made by men in all of 2023. Head of the St. Mary Police Division, Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson, told Nationwide News on Monday that the number for the remaining 4 months of 2024 is expected to increase as more and more men are coming forward.
We also have issues with domestic violence, and what we have found is that the numbers keeps fluctuating. But what we find interesting is that we have had the situation where domestic violence concern, where the men is actually being abused, and we find that, yes sir, and we find that there are more men now willing to step forward to say that I'm being abused.
Very interesting.
Yes sir.
Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson, head of the St. Mary Police Division. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his administration is closer to crafting an effective mechanism to deal with intimate partner violence and child abuse.
Now we really need to target intimate partner violence, domestic violence, child abuse, and all the other forms of violence that exist. It is time as a society that we speak with one voice against violence. Violence is not the accepted means of resolving conflict.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, and just a correction, Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson, head of the St. Mary Police Division, was speaking with the Prime Minister. State Minister in the Ministry of National Security, Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, says the Department of Correctional Services is moving away from manual processes and paper-based record keeping. She was speaking at the launch of the department's digitized correctional management system, CMS, on Friday.
Our aim is clear. It is to ensure that our correctional facilities are not just secure, but also equipped with the tools necessary for true rehabilitation and reintegration. One of the key goals of the SSP for the DCS was the establishment of a correctional management system that will streamline all operations in vital areas such as inmate tracking, security management, rehabilitation programs, and also the facility administration. We are doing away with the outdated manual processes and paper-based records, which we know all too well have been time-consuming and also very prone to inefficiencies.
Minister Cuthbert-Flynn says the platform is one of the key strategies included in the National Correctional Services Policy.
This new National Correctional Service Policy, which was tabled in the Parliament earlier this year, is not just another document. It is indeed a guide for the continued development of the DCS, and also will serve as a roadmap that will see us improve every aspect of correctional service management. The establishment of the DCS Nexus platform is a key strategy in this policy, and so step by step we're building a more robust, a more responsive system, one that is equipped to meet the challenges that you will face on a daily basis in the management of the facilities.
Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, State Minister in the Ministry of National Security. A week-long curfew in Craigtown in Kingston is set to expire at 6 p.m. today. The measure was initially imposed last week Monday in response to the murder of a man said to be the relative of a gang leader in the area. The measure was intended to last for 48 hours, but it has been extended twice, first on Wednesday and again on Saturday. Senior Superintendent Michael Phipps is the head of the Kingston West Police Division.
We have sought to have the reimposition of the curfew. This, we believe, will afford us more time to basically lock the area and to execute some major operations that we have started. In addition to that, it will help us to restrict the movements of especially those migrant criminals that we have traversing the space.
SSP Phipps, Michael Phipps, head of the Kingston West Police Division. In regional and international news now, regional news, the UN Security Council unanimously agreed on Monday to authorize For another year, the international security force helping fight armed gangs in Haiti. The 15-member council extended the mandate until October 2, 2025. The resolution does not include references to transitioning the MSS mission to a UN peacekeeping operation, as per an initial draft. Haiti's UN ambassador Antonio Rodriguez told the council last week that the transformation is not only necessary but urgent. He argues that it would guarantee stable funding and allow capacities to be expanded to a level that is reflective of the magnitude of the present challenges in Haiti. The security mission, while approved by the UN Security Council, is not a United Nations operation and currently relies on voluntary contributions. The mission has so far made little progress toward helping Haiti restore order, with only 400 Kenyan police officers and a sprinkling of Jamaican security officials on the ground. To international, the embezzlement trial of French far-right leader Marine Le Pen and 24 officials of her national rally started in Paris on Monday. The national rally and 27 of its high-ranking party members are accused of using money destined for EU parliamentary aides to pay staff who did political work for the party between 2004 and 2016. This is in violation of the regulations of the 27-nation bloc. Arriving at court, Le Pen denied that she had violated any political and regulatory rules of the European Parliament. She vowed to present the judges with serious and solid arguments. If found guilty, Le Pen and her co-defendants could face up to 10 years in prison and fines of up to 1 million euros each. Additional penalties, such as the loss of civil rights or ineligibility to run for office, could also be imposed. The 9-week trial will be closely watched by Le Pen's political rivals, as she is a strong contender in the race to succeed Emmanuel Macron when the next presidential election takes place in 2027. And that's it for the news at 12. Up next, sports.
The Midday News was brought to you by Total Tools. We almost always have it.
Success powered by learning. The Time brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is
12:19.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters. The go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works. Workers. People who are powerful because they power through day after day. Challenge after challenge. You see, true power, it's not something you can buy or collect. It is something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snack Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
The National Environment and Planning Agency is advising the public that the 2024 game bird shooting season ended on Sunday, September 22, 2024 at 9 a.m. Hunting of game birds during the closed season is strictly prohibited by the Wildlife Protection Act. Any person caught hunting during the closed season will be prosecuted. The deadline for completed hunters' bird shooting report forms is December 31, 2024. Forms can be submitted to NEPA in person, by registered mail, or electronically using the Game Bird Hunters portal on the website. Report all illegal hunting to NEPA at 876-754-7540, toll free 888-991-5005, 119, or the nearest police station. A message from the National Environment and Planning Agency.
When I grow up, I'm going to be a famous gamer with viral videos all over the internet. I'm going to be rich. Good thing I'll already know how to take care of my money since Mommy got me this Sure Start account.
Open a CIBC Caribbean Sure Start account for your kids and give them a head start on financial smarts with a $1,200 sign-up bonus from us. We believe in their dreams as much as you do, so let's get them going together. Start young, start strong with Sure Start from CIBC. From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, up-to-the-minute local and international sports news, this is the Nationwide Sports at Noon.
Good afternoon, with your sports report. I'm Alex Raby. We start with track and field, as national champions Rashawn Clark and Akiva Nugent are the first two Jamaicans to sign up with the Michael Johnson-led Grand Slam track series scheduled to get off in April next year. Clark confirmed his participation in the 8-meet series over the weekend. Nugent is understood to have inked her signature a month ago. The two Jamaicans now join the likes of Sidney McLaughlin-Levrone, Fred Curley, Cole Hocker and Kenny Bednarek, who have already signed on the series. The series will reward athletes winning with upwards of $400,000 should they win each of the 4 slams in their event category. The first meet in the series is set for Los Angeles, with the second at the National Stadium in Kingston. Michael Johnson is due in Jamaica on October 12th to shed more light on the Kingston leg of the series. Olympic champions Roger Stoner and Julian Alfred headline a list of nominees for the Caribbean Male and Female Athlete of the Year at the inaugural Connaught Sports Awards. The awards are set to honor the Caribbean's finest athletes, teams and sports leaders in Turks and Caicos Islands on October 19. The prestigious event will celebrate the region's sporting excellence with a special focus on sustainability through the IOC Sustainability Awards. The men's category, Stoner, the Olympic champion and record holder, is joined by Kieran McMaster of the U.S. Virgin Islands, Grenada's Lyndon Victor, Jareem Richards of Trinidad and Tobago, and Sebastian Rivera of Puerto Rico. On the women's side, Alfred, the Olympic 100 meters champion and a 200 meters silver medalist, will go up against Jasmine Camacho Quinn of Puerto Rico, Marilady Paulino of the Dominican Republic, Safikwa Maloney of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Jamaica's Shanika Ricketts. There will also be awards for the Caribbean Male and Female Teams of the Year and Breakthrough Athletes of the Year. A new era in Jamaica's cricket will begin tomorrow when former national player and selector Robert Haynes takes over as head coach of the Jamaica Scorpions. Haynes had long been identified as the new coach, but could not be officially announced in his new role since the current coach, Andrew Richardson, is still under contract. Richardson's 2-year contract expires today. Haynes will have his hands full trying to turn around the fortunes of the Scorpions, who lost all but 2 of their games last season. Head of the selection panel, Delroy Morgan, is looking forward to the Haynes era.
We're expecting a lot. I know Jamaica has been down. We didn't do well last year in this competition, the 50 overs. We came last. In the 4-day competition too, we came way down the order there. So we're looking forward to this group of players to really take Jamaica cricket forward and do well. We need to do better. We know it's just a little start now, but we're looking forward for these guys to really bring us right back up there where we belong.
Delroy Morgan. The Scorpions have been staging trial games under the supervision of Morgan and other members of the coaching staff. West Indies women suffered a 20-run defeat to their Indian counterparts in an ICC T20 World Cup warm-up game in Dubai yesterday. Captain Hayley Matthews bagged 4 for 17 as the 5th-ranked India were restricted to 141 for 8 off their 20 overs. Jemima Rodriguez led the batting with 52. In reply, the West Indies made 121 for 8. Chanel Henry was left not out on 59, Affy Fletcher 21, and Charmaine Campbell 21. The West Indies will open their campaign at the World Cup on October 4 against South Africa in Group B. Now on to football, as defending champions Cavalier beat 10-man Waterhouse 2-0 in the Ray and Never Jamaica Premier League at the Anthony Spalding Complex on Sunday. Jalmaro Calvin gave the Rudolph Speed coach side the lead in the 12th minute. Dwayne Atkinson doubled their lead in the 35th minute. Waterhouse lost their captain and goalkeeper Kemar Foster to a red card in the 32nd minute. In the late game at the same venue, host Arnett Gardens came from behind to earn a 1-1 draw with promoted club Racing United. Meanwhile, Harbourview recorded their second consecutive win of the season, beating Mullines United 2-1 at the Harbourview Stadium. Okwasa Chong scored both goals for the Stars of the East, while Jason Wright scored for Mullines United. And Tedmanville United held Humble Lion to a 1-1 draw at the Wembley Centre of Excellence. In today's fixtures, Chapelton Maroons play Montego Bay United and Portmore United take on Tivoli Gardens at the Anthony Spalding Complex. French forward Antoine Griezmann has announced his retirement from international football. The Atletico Madrid player made 137 appearances for his country, scoring 44 goals, and helped them win the 2018 World Cup, converting a penalty in the final as France beat Croatia 4-2 in Moscow. He also won the 2021 Nations League with his country. Griezmann started for France in a 3-1 Nations League defeat by Italy in September, before last appearance came as a substitute in a 2-0 win against Belgium 3 days later. He has revealed his decision prior to the next international break in October, when France play Israel and Belgium in the Nations League. It was a Sunday of records and highlights reel performances in Week 4 of the NFL as Patrick Mahomes celebrated his 100th regular season start with a win, while Jaden Daniels announced himself as a new star of the league. The Kansas City Chiefs keep finding ways to win as the Jacksonville Jaguars find new ways to lose, while the Washington Commanders continue to surprise with record-setting rookie Daniels pulling the strings. Mahomes celebrated his 100th regular season start with a record 78 victory, 2 more than Tom Brady and Roger Staubach's previous best, while he also holds the records for the most completed passes, touchdowns and passing yards in the first 100 games of a career. Mahomes has now won all 12 career games when the Chiefs have trailed by exactly 10 points, with Sunday's 17-10 victory at the Los Angeles Chargers, their 10th in a row. The 3-time Super Bowl champion had gone 30 games with a 50-yard touchdown pass before hitting speedsters Xavier Worthy with a 54-yarder during the comeback, which again was built on the back of the team's solid defense. Mahomes says Travis Kelce is a true hero of the team.
Travis just wants to win at the end of the day, and I think that's what you take for granted in this league. We've had a great offense, and we've done all these cool things, and it's been fun. But at the end of the day, it's all about winning, and I think he's the true leader when it comes to that. He doesn't care who gets the stats; he just wants to win the football game.
Patrick Mahomes. Meanwhile, Washington rookie quarterback Daniels led the Commanders to a 42-14 victory at the Arizona Cardinals, showing more of his incredible poise and precision for someone at the start of his NFL career. Daniels scored his 4th rushing yard touchdown of the season, but it is his passing accuracy that is raising eyebrows, as his remarkable 82.1% pass completion rate is the best in any 4-game span in the Super Bowl era. Only Brady and Peyton Manning have produced something similar, and both came during one of their MVP seasons. And to basketball, as NBA legend Dikembe Mutombo has died of brain cancer, aged 58. Mutombo was first diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2022. Mutombo played 18 seasons in the NBA with the likes of Houston Rockets, Atlanta Hawks, Philadelphia, and New York before retiring in the 2008-2009 season. He was the league's top defensive player 4 times and played in 8 All-Star games. He was also inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame and was named the NBA's first global ambassador. And finally, in bodybuilding, as Ryan Henry, Diane Brown, Nicholas Wilson, and Ashane Gordon Morrison were all multiple winners at the Mayberry Investment Job for National Senior Championships at the AC Hotel on the weekend. Henry won the men's physique overall and medium class titles, while Brown was crowned bikini fitness overall and tall class champion. The bodybuilding overall and lightweight title went to Wilson, with Gordon Morrison taking the women's body fitness and women's physique trophies. I'm Alex Swiby, and that's your sports.
On Sunday, August 11th, in the quiet community of Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon, our entire nation was shaken by a brutal act of violence.
Gangsters mercilessly took the lives of 8 innocent Jamaicans, including a 7-year-old boy.
These criminals will strike again, destroying more families and more communities, unless we stand together to stop them.
If you have any information that can help bring these killers to justice, please share it with the security forces.
The government has established a reward fund of $25 million for information leading to the arrest and charge of the perpetrators who committed this heinous act.
The facilitators who supply them with the arms, intelligence, and the transportation.
And those who harbor and protect these criminals after the crime.
If you know something, say something.
Call Crime Stop at 311 MOCA at 888-6622-847, the NIB at 811 or JDF at 837-8888.
Together,
we will
defeat the gangs
and develop a culture of peace in our country.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
To recap our top stories making the nationwide world at noon, only 5% of voters in the Northeast St. Anne by-election have so far cast their ballots, and several constituents say poor representation is the reason they're abstaining from the polls. More St. Mary men are reporting domestic violence. I'm Tona Thomas. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app, available on Google Play and the App Store. Major news next at 5.
Since 2016, 156,000 more Jamaicans are working. This is more than any other time in our history. Your government is caring for you. The time brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister is
12:33.
Attention all data protection enthusiasts. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM every Tuesday at 8:20 a.m. and Thursday at 8:25 a.m. for a new program, Data Protection Matters. Starting June 4, 2024, join us as we delve into crucial topics that will keep you informed and compliant. Data Protection Matters is hosted by Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy, your trusted partner in data protection. Don't miss out. That's every Tuesday morning at 8:20 and every Thursday at 8:25 a.m. Stay protected, stay informed with Nationwide 90 FM and Design Privacy.
Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice. Tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's talk justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice.
You're invited to the Info Exchange Cloud Forum 2024, set for October 1 at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston. Tune in to Cliff Hughes online on Nationwide 90 FM from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we help them to highlight pressing questions about improving operational resilience, quick recovery from disruptions, and strategies about improving risk mitigation efforts. You don't want to miss this one. So tune in to Cliff Hughes online on October 1 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the Info Exchange Cloud Forum 2024. Tune in for all the updates and highlights only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by Info Exchange.
Timeline with the stinger, Honey Bee.
Good afternoon. 24 minutes going up to 1 o'clock. It's all about what's trending now on the timeline with Honeybee. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Cliff. How are you doing today?
I'm all right,
Yes. We see how look at me here. How was your weekend?
All right.
Good?
All right.
All right, nice.
So you spent the weekend doing your hair?
Just a few hours.
Just a few hours?
Yeah, like sometimes when you go to the hairdresser,
6
depending on which one you
hours?
go to, never that. I would leave.
Oh?
Nope. But sometimes depending, because sometimes you have to wait a bit to get washed and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Yes.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And it's yours.
All of it. Every single bit of it. Let's dive into the timeline today. Digital Rising Star is now down to the final 2. I don't know if you've been watching or if those days are behind you, but last evening was the penultimate episode of Digital Rising Stars as Shanique Watson emerged as this year's 3rd place winner. It's a bittersweet moment for the talented singer as she misses out on the finals, but walks away with $400,000 in cash and other prizes. Now that is pretty good. Watson leaves behind Akeen Fennell and Renicia Bernard, who will battle it out for the popular competition's top spot. The final will air on October 6th. So, you have some diehard Rising Stars people.
Mm-hmm.
People, especially, I think there's this lady, I don't know if she still goes, but there was this one lady, every single show, Cliff, she was in the audience every year.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's good that we have a talent show. I do think though that it may be losing a grip on the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long is it going for now?
I'm not quite sure. No,
About 20
22?
years.
20 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you don't re-engineer and re-gig it, then,
Yeah.
then interest is going to wane.
That is true. That is true, definitely. Especially when you look at the amount of success stories that we have so far over the 20 years that have come out of the competition, you know. I mean, we do have stars, but not like a whole lot. You know what I mean? Most prominent amongst them, Chris Martin, Romain Virgo.
Yeah.
When you think about, people who've really made it
Right.
commercially, internationally as well.
Yes,
Easy me, but yeah. All right, moving on. Anticipation bills for JCDC Marcus Garvey Awards for Excellence. The Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, will on Tuesday recognize outstanding individuals, schools, and other groups at the Marcus Garvey Awards for Excellence in the Performing Arts at a ceremony to be held at Little Theatre in St. Andrew. The highlight of the event, which will celebrate this year's outstanding performers and teachers in the JCDC National Performing Arts Competition, will be the announcement of the coveted top prize, the Marcus Garvey Award for Excellence in the Performing Arts. This will be presented to the school or group which emerges with the most points from its participation in the Festival of the Performing Arts competitions. This year's nominees are Arden High School, which is seeking its 13th hold on the prestigious title and trophy, St. Jago High, which is seeking title number 12. Wow. First-time nominee Godfrey Stewart, Performing Arts Society, and returning nominees Green Island High School and the Port Antonio Theatre Group. The JCDC Marcus Garvey Awards for Excellence in the Performing Arts ceremony was first staged in 1994. Other awards will also be presented in the following categories: Outstanding Presentations, Outstanding Teacher, and Special Achievement Awards. Keynote speaker at this year's ceremony will be Education and Youth Minister Favour Williams, while host for the awards will be Minister of Culture, Gender and Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange. Cliff, some time ago you sent me a clip for a movie called Mosiah.
Yes.
Yes.
Garvey movie.
Yes. Yes, indeed. And it's interesting. I've been trying to. It was released in 2023. Yeah, but the thing is, it's funding. Funding is such an important part, especially when you have films of this nature that's not from one of those massive production houses. And so I was doing some research and I looked at their website and everything, and they also have a little GoFundMe thing set up there. The website, guys, is mosiahthemovie.com. mosiahthemovie.com. And just to give you a brief synopsis before I show the trailer, It's Marcus Mosiah Garvey, a Jamaican-born political activist and founder of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, is on trial in New York in 1923 following the leadership of J. Edgar Hoover and the BOI, later the FBI. The government has charged Garvey with mail fraud in connection with selling stocks for the Black Star Line, a shipping line designed to forge a link between North America and Africa.
Yes.
Now, Garvey sees the trial for what it is, an attempt to end the movement by way of character assassination. Realizing his counsel is not up to the task, Garvey fires him and resolves to defend himself. As the trial plays out, flashbacks show glimpses of Garvey's life before the trial and his relationship with his wife, Amy Jakes Garvey. This is the first ever narrative film about his life. Yeah, and we are going to show you the trailer now. Here we go.
I unequivocally reject the racist assumption of white America's ideology that God created the black man inferior. Because if Negroes are created in God's image and Negroes are black, then God too must in some sense be black. It's time to unite our brothers and sisters across the country and sail to Africa. Liberia is calling us now.
And what happens when the government tries to stop us?
By the time they try it, it will already be too late.
They claim to uplift the Negro race, to persuade Negroes to buy shares of stock in the Black Star Line.
This trial is politically driven. They want to end the movement by assassinating my character.
By not taking the plea, you face a mandatory 5 years in prison.
Do you see any fear in my eyes?
Who does he think he is? Black Moses?
You'd better stop him quick. You're gonna tear this whole country apart.
How much longer will you endure the pain and suffering that this country places upon you? Dive down, black men, dive down and dig.
Hold your head high, Marcus. You are not the first the system has tried to break, and you will not be the last. The future of our people relies on you.
Africa for the Africans!
Very intense. And we know that Marcus's story is definitely one for the silver screen.
Yes.
You know, and this is
I'm surprised it has taken so long.
Taken so long. And, you know, even though it's done here on a small scale, it's only a 40 minutes film. We can tell from the acting that it's good. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like the storytelling is pretty tight, obviously, with a short span of time. But I feel like, you know, I can feel the actors. Yeah. So it's not I don't see it anywhere for sale. However, upcoming screenings include October 5th, San Antonio Black International Film Festival. That's in San Antonio, Texas, USA, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So you can see it at some film festivals coming up. There's also the Grenada Film Festival, St. George's, Grenada, October 24th to 27th. Still in October 24th, Film Festival in Culver City, California. But it's just a sort of thing, Cliff, that I would love to see get into local theaters.
Yeah. It must come into the local theater.
Well, they need funding, you know.
Oh.
But I suppose it starts here with them showing it at these local film festivals, gathering some traction and so on and thing. But I think it's a great initiative. Yes, we'll be right back.
I want to see it. Time for the break.
Celebrate with the winning spirit, Ray Rum. The time by Ray and Nephew White Overproof Rum is
12:45.
Welcome to our Active Corner, brought to you by Active Home Center. Are you ready to upgrade your bathroom? It's time to choose the perfect toilet for your space. First, consider the size of your bathroom. Measure the space where the toilet will be installed so it fits comfortably. Also, decide if you'd want a standing toilet or one that floats from the wall to suit your style. Did you know toilets can conserve water too? Look for toilets with a green water sense label that uses less water when flushing. Also, consider soft close toilet seats that close slowly and quietly. Shop toilets in our showroom today. Tune in at this time for more from Active Home Center.
Calling all fishermen in Jamaica. We are in the hurricane season. Weather changes are more frequent and you need your daily marine weather forecast to keep you informed of these changes. Hurry and register now with the Jamaica Fishermen Cooperative Union Limited. They will see that you get your daily marine report on time. Visit them at 44 Beechwood Avenue or call 876-968-0411. Don't delay.
Welcome back to the timeline. You know, I see someone here in the chat, Cliff, saying, you know, Jamaican man, Jamaica movie, but can't get Jamaican act. And, you know, when I was watching it, I was also listening to his accent. It's not terrible, but it's not great. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things where we aren't producing any films of our own of this magnitude. You know what I mean? And until we start doing that and until we can do that, then, you know, we sort of have to take what we can get. But the lead actor, the guy who's playing Marcus Garvey, Samuel Lee Fudge, and he's also one of the writers on the project. Yeah, it's not really bad. All right, let's move on. Bounty killer gives back to Bellevue Hospital. Now, through his Bounty Foundation, the veteran dancehall artist extended a hand to the Bellevue Hospital on Windward Road in Kingston on Thursday with a donation of 2 air conditioning units, 5 wheelchairs, and other useful resources. Courtesy stopped today at the Bellevue Hospital for the mentally disabled. Bounty killer began in the first of a series of Instagram posts. The Bounty Foundation handed over 2 AC units, 5 wheelchairs, and other items. Let's care for the elderly, the disabled, and homeless kids. It shows our love and compassion towards each other. Over 400 residents/patients that live there. Corporate Jamaica, Unofia play a better role, stand up, he added. Now, the visit also entailed a sit-down where the DJ reiterated the importance of mental health care and the crisis which exists in Jamaica, particularly among men who need effective outlets to aid in their mental well-being. Yes, you know, he's playing his part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we believe that we don't have mental health issues, you know.
No, for true. It's very true.
Yeah.
Because people love tough. We are bad for. Stop it balling. One to you idiot. You understand? Like, I have feelings. I'm just feeling here. And oh gosh, but it's definitely, I would agree with him that it's a crisis and it's something we have to start paying very keen attention to because, you know, we're losing one another. It's true, you know. And I just feel like more and more people are becoming recluse and just sort of locking away themselves. Yeah. Yeah. And just, you know, staying in and not engaging simply because they feel like they can't keep up with the appearances or the expectations of them. Yeah. Yep. It's not easy, eh?
And they suffer in silence.
And they suffer in silence as a result. You know, that's why it's so important to check in on each other and friendship too. Yeah. Friendship is important. And to be honest with you, I found myself in these latter days of my life. What am I talking about? I find myself in these days. I began to lose hope in friendship. And I came across this podcast that I think Simon Sinek, I don't know if you've ever heard his name. It's very good. And he was talking about the importance of friendship and how we're not placing as much, we're not giving it as much time or respect anymore in our modern day society. What we give time and respect to is work and the phone. Yeah. And money, and everything is transactional. Yeah. And if something isn't giving you particular results or whatever, you don't care for it. But when you're breaking down and when you are lonely and you're sad or you're going through something tragic in your life, work is not going to help you.
You're true.
You understand what I mean? Work is not going to be there for you. So you have to invest in the people that are around you.
Friendships,
the companions. And I feel like our culture has just made us sort of sour towards friendship, because everybody's just sort of like, we're not big enough friend, you know what I mean? And it's just this idea that you don't need anyone, and it's not true.
We do need one.
We do need each other, you know? Yes. Oh, well.
Well, you got me there, when you said these latter days. Don't talk like that.
What was it? In these days. In this now moment of my life.
Right.
Yes.
And it's only a moment.
Yes. True.
It's only a moment.
Which is so important to remember in our life. Because everything passes. Everything passes. Nothing remains the same. And it's just one of those things that we have to remind ourselves and hold on to.
And valleys and troughs,
True.
Don't linger on it.
Yeah.
See it for what it is, a moment. And this too shall pass. But every time you feel that way, do something.
Yeah.
Do something. Don't just sit down and, do something. Act.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Honeybee. That's what we're going to leave it for today. I want to say thanks to Honeybee and, of course, to all of our callers, our YouTubers, our WhatsAppers, and our tweets. Thank you so much to our producer, Norige Banton, and, of course, our technical operator, Kevin Williams. That's where we're going to leave it today. Yeah, we're going to make way now for Oasis with Lloyd Gale. See you tomorrow morning at 10.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock.
You've just heard Cliff Hughes Online on Nationwide 90 FM. Join Cliff Monday to Thursdays between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. for Cliff Hughes Online.
Like a rock. My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock.